visualize what if we didn't win leading up to the game. And then slowly as you get closer to the game, you allow yourself to kind of push the negative feelings aside, and you start to fill yourself up with all the great things that are going to happen and what you need to do to execute the game plan. And of course, ultimately to seeing yourself, holding the trophy. And as the game starts, all the negative and the positive go away. And then you drill yourself down into, just executing the game plan. And you don't think about the what ifs and what should have been or what could have been. You just really kind of play in the moment. And I think trust becomes a massive word when you think about it. Can I trust each one of the players that are going out there to not only to do their part from a strategic standpoint, be in the right position, be in the right places at the right time, but not get undisciplined and take poor penalties at the wrong time because their ego is bruised and someone took advantage of them, then being able to hold all that in check. So there's just so many dynamics to think about for a team in order to overcome all the obstacles to win a championship. And it's fascinating to me. It's one of the reasons I was able to play 26 years, because once you do it, you understand how fun it is, but also how complicated and intricate it is to kind of get not only the team from a physical standpoint to come together, but how a team comes together emotionally, mentally, and the spirituality around a team and the respect that lives inside that locker room is incredible.
SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 brings you expert analysis from former players, coaches, and executives, plus reaction to all the latest news on the only 24/7 station dedicated to the National Football League.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Tuesday, May the 6th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL playoffs, 7 p.m., Washington Capitals take on the Carolina Hurricanes. Capitals on SiriusXM channels 91, Internet 950, Hurricanes on Internet 924. 9:30 p.m., Vegas Golden Knights take on the Edmonton Oilers. Knights on SiriusXM channels 91, Internet 949, Oilers on SiriusXM channels 167, Internet 930. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Tuesday, May the 6th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL playoffs, 7 p.m., Washington Capitals take on the Carolina Hurricanes. Capitals on SiriusXM channels 91, Internet 950, Hurricanes on Internet 924. 9:30 p.m., Vegas Golden Knights take on the Edmonton Oilers. Knights on SiriusXM channels 91, Internet 949, Oilers on SiriusXM channels 167, Internet 930. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Tuesday, May the 6th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL playoffs, 7 p.m., Washington Capitals take on the Carolina Hurricanes. Capitals on SiriusXM channels 91, Internet 950, Hurricanes on Internet 924. 9:30 p.m., Vegas Golden Knights take on the Edmonton Oilers. Knights on SiriusXM channels 91, Internet 949, Oilers on SiriusXM channels 167, Internet 930. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, channel 91.
Follow every second of the action on NHL Network Radio. From behind the bench to every play on the ice. If it's hockey, it's on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91.
Tampa Bay Lightning head coach John Cooper stopped by for a morning skate with Gord Stellick and Scott Laughlin on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio on SiriusXM Channel 91 to talk the keys to his success over the years and the challenge of getting to the Stanley Cup Final 3 years in a row.
John, I'm going to ask you to be a little bit self-analytical and, being in the business that you're in and knowing how successful you've been and what drives you and motivates you. What do you think has been the key to your success over the years? I mean, every league you've been in, you've won, you've had the staying power, and you've had all kinds of championship pedigree. If you say, hey, look, I'm still going strong, I'm still chasing another ring, what is it that keeps you going, and what is it in particular that you feel has made you as successful as you've been?
I would say there's a couple things. Internally, it's the fire is still burning. And so I think that first and foremost is the biggest thing, because when you lose your passion for it, and I've watched it happen to people, then you might as well you should get yourself out, because you're just doing yourself and your team a disservice. So that passion is first and foremost the big thing. I would sit here say on the other side of things, like Jeff Vinnick as an owner, and it kind of goes back to the previous question about stability. And that's one of the things we've had. And so Julian Breezeball was my general manager in the minors and now the NHL. So we've been together for how many years? We had Steve Eisenman in the early part of that, and he kind of was like the mentor. He was the actual one that brought me in, but we've had that stability. Only 2 GMs, but both of them work together. We've had one owner, one coach, basically, since I've been there, one captain, and it's this core group of guys that have all stuck together. And I think we've kind of, I don't know how to explain it, you've kind of passed the coach-player relationship because we've been there so long, and we all just have this common goal of what we need to do. And there's a lot of pride, a lot of passion with the group of guys we have, and then Julian's done a great job of kind of filling in. And when I say fill in, it's like getting the Nick Pauls, getting the Brandon Hagels, guys that are still long-term guys, but that weren't, pseudo-drafted into our system. And it's, we've been really fortunate that it's worked out the way it has. But I truly believe the stability, the belief, and the passion of the same group of people that have been together, and that's what's really helped us. It takes its toll, both physically and mentally. And I give our players credit, to come back and make the playoffs the next year. But, now we've been one and done for 2 years. We've had some breaks. We've had a little bit of turnover. And we need to get back. We need to get back to those, making some runs in the playoffs. And but I will sit here and say, I'd be remiss to say, those years, they do take a toll. And maybe it has taken a toll in the last, couple of years on us. And but I can tell now that, a couple of years of being bounced in the first round, it's just a different vibe coming in, especially this year of seeing all the players. And there's an energy I haven't felt in a while. And I think part of that is because we have been bounced, in the last 2 years.
Hear it all on demand. Your favorite shows, your favorite games. Don't miss a second of your favorite SiriusXM programming on demand with the SiriusXM app. Download it now for free.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Tuesday, May the 6th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL playoffs, 7 p.m., Washington Capitals take on the Carolina Hurricanes. Capitals on SiriusXM channels 91, Internet 950. Hurricanes on Internet 924. 9:30 p.m., Vegas Golden Knights take on the Edmonton Oilers. Knights on SiriusXM channels 91, Internet 949. Oilers on SiriusXM channels 167, Internet 930. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Tuesday, May the 6th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL playoffs, 7 p.m., Washington Capitals take on the Carolina Hurricanes. Capitals on SiriusXM channels 91, Internet 950. Hurricanes on Internet 924. 9:30 p.m., Vegas Golden Knights take on the Edmonton Oilers. Knights on SiriusXM channels 91, Internet 949. Oilers on SiriusXM channels 167, Internet 930. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Tuesday, May the 6th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL playoffs, 7 p.m., Washington Capitals take on the Carolina Hurricanes. Capitals on SiriusXM channels 91, Internet 950. Hurricanes on Internet 924. 9:30 p.m., Vegas Golden Knights take on the Edmonton Oilers. Knights on SiriusXM channels 91, Internet 949. Oilers on SiriusXM channels 167, Internet 930. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91.
The PGA Tour comes to life on SiriusXM. It's your destination for everything on the tour. Hear live hole-by-hole coverage and expert analysis. PGA Tour Radio, SiriusXM 92.
Iron Mike Keenan, former NHL head coach, came on the morning skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick for SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. That's SiriusXM Channel 91. He was on to promote his new book, Iron Mike, My Life Behind the Bench, and he took some time to talk about his career, specifically the regrets and the influences.
When you get a chance to sit down now and you think back on all these times, any regrets?
Yeah, of course you have regrets. I had the heat turned up quite a bit at my own distraction, so I could have, and I evolved, and even Greg, you just mentioned Greg Gilbert. He said, Mike, you're completely different here in New York than you were in Chicago.
You're listening to NHL Play-by-Play on SiriusXM. Washington Capitals hockey.
Carlson scores! Johnny B. Good from the outside.
Is on.
Here's a puck deflected in front. Oh, what a save made by Lindgren on a point-blank chance.
The air.
Let's go, Washington!
Washington Capitals hockey is presented by Capital One, the official bank and credit card of the Washington Capitals. Caesars Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the Washington Capitals. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of the Washington Capitals. And by Kia, the official presenting partner of the Capitals Radio Network.
Let's go, baby! Tom Wilson on a puck in front. It's a hat trick for Alex Ovechkin.
Now, for all the play-by-play of tonight's game, here's the voice of your Washington Capitals, John Walton.
Hey, pleasant good evening, everybody, from Capital One Arena here in downtown Washington. Welcome once again to Washington Capitals hockey here on the Caps Radio Network. Tonight, Game 1 of this second round Stanley Cup playoff matchup between the Capitals and the Carolina Hurricanes. Hi, everybody. John Walton, Ken Savern, Katie Florio with you here high above ringside in our nation's capital tonight, where for the first time since the Caps won a cup in 2018, they are out of the first round. They were very businesslike in how they handled Montreal and winning in 5 games. The team that they're facing tonight also winning in 5 games. 2 widely regarded to be 2 of the best remaining here in the field of 8, and they're going to go head-to-head to see who gets to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. And the Capitals are hoping home ice advantage carries it forward, and they can do something they haven't done in 7 years, too, and that's get to round 3.
Well, you work all year to get home ice advantage. They worked their played well all season, get home ice advantage, take advantage of it. But it starts here tonight, John. They got to have a good start. Everything's got to go well for them here in this first game. You know Carolina's coming in. All they're thinking about, let's just get a split in here. Let's get a split and get back home, take home ice advantage. So Caps realize that, set the tone right off the bat.
Capitals, when it comes to special teams, not the strongest part of their round 1 victory over Montreal. At 5-on-5, they dominated the Canadians. The power play started to find some life in Game 5, scoring a couple of times after going a stretch of 10 in a row without. Power play for Carolina is very good. The special teams battle, it's not always going to be what puts you over the top in any single game, but over the course of a series, you want to move on to round 3. You've got to win the special teams battle over the course of 7 games. The Capitals probably need to be better at that in the second round than they were in the first.
Yes, definitely got to be better. I mean, they got away with the Montreal Canadiens, but these guys here haven't allowed a goal on the power play yet, so their PK's been outstanding. So the Caps have their work cut out for them here. They got to play with confidence. And it all starts, John. You get a power play, you get one early, and you got confidence. It snowballs from there. When you start to struggle, then you're tightening your sticks a little bit more. So these guys are going to be aggressive. You know that. That's the way they're coached. The Caps got to realize that. I'm sure they've had plenty of time to adjust their power play.
One of the unsung heroes of round 1 was Pierre-Luc Dubois. Without a goal in the first round and only a couple of assists, but what he brought was a lot of D-zone starts, a lot of hard minutes, and holding the Cole Caulfield line to very little through the course of 5 games. Starting tonight, It's going to be a whole different ball game. It's going to be the top line for Carolina, and it's a tough one with Svechnikov, Aho, and Jackson Blake. One of the best lines of any team in the first round. The defensive starts and the defensive responsibilities nicked out too, but certainly for Pierre-Luc Dubois to try and generate offense off those D-zone starts. Connor McMichael was a beneficiary of that in the first round. He scored 3 times. Making offense out of D-zone starts and Pierre-Luc Dubois doing the defensive job that he did. It's going to be a very tough series for him. He does well. The Capitals probably do well too.
Well, I agree with you. I mean, yeah, you like to see him get a goal or two, get rewarded, but he's happy doing what he's doing. He's willing to do that job. It's not an easy job, but I'll tell you what, in that room, it goes a long way. Guys that shut down their big guys like that, and as you said, their line, very good. One of the best lines out there in the playoffs right now. They're going to have their hands full, but Pierre-Luc Dubois, the veteran, we've seen him do it all year. That line's been outstanding. I look for them to continue it tonight.
After 4 wins in the first round, Logan Thompson will get the start here in Game 1 against Carolina. Top save percentage in all the first round for a goaltender at north of 92%. At the other end, Freddie Anderson returns after being injured in Game 4 of their first round matchup with New Jersey. Pyotr Kochetkov ended up finishing the series, but Anderson returns tonight. Great goaltending matchup. Great matchup across the board. If you're talking defense, if you're talking offense, you're talking about goaltending. Caps are hoping that they've got a trip to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 7 years, facing a Carolina team that has won 7 straight first-rounders, have sometimes had trouble generating beyond that. We'll see what happens in what promises to be a tremendous 7-game series of hockey between these two former Southeast Division rivals. When we return, you're going to hear a lot from the Capitals dressing room, from Tom Wilson, Anthony Beauvillier, both talking about Carolina. Dylan Strome as well. My conversation with Spencer Carberry straight ahead. Katie chats with tonight's starting goaltender, Logan Thompson. You'll hear that momentarily. One other game tonight in the Stanley Cup playoffs, Edmonton and Vegas. Getting after it later. But the focus right now in the Stanley Cup playoffs is on our town, here in the nation's capital. Game 1 between Carolina and Washington. You're listening to the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs on the Capitals Radio Network, driven by Kia.
Being there for live NHL games means more thrilling face-offs, more action, and more memories made for the whole family. And when you need tickets to watch the Caps hit the ice, Ticketmaster's got you covered. As the official ticket marketplace of the Washington Capitals and the NHL, Ticketmaster gives you more ways to find your perfect seat with a wide selection of tickets available for every game. And if your plans change, Ticketmaster gives you more flexibility to sell or transfer your tickets. Plus, mobile tickets make it easy to get into the arena and in time for puck drop. Check out the full schedule of upcoming games and get tickets today at Ticketmaster.com.
This is Bruce Boudreau. When it comes to selling homes, Wes Stearns is on my power play. Wes is a Navy veteran and a family friend who's sold over 2,500 homes. I trust him, plain and simple. Whether you're buying or selling, give Wes a call at 703-878-0000 or visit callwes.com. Want to know your home's value? Head over to getyourwestimat.com. Take it from me, Wes Stearns is your MVP in real estate.
Caesars Sportsbook is the official sports betting partner of the Washington Capitals. Download the app if you haven't already, and you can bet all the action right from your seat. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Washington, D.C. No one to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or text 800-426. OLG Class A licensed operator. Caesars Sportsbook, the only sportsbook with Caesars rewards.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One and a member FDIC. We know them well. Obviously, it'd be nice to get another crack at them from a few years back. But they compete really hard. You know what you're going to get from them. You're going to get their all, and they're all out work ethic. So we're going to have to dictate the play and worry about our game and make sure that we're really focused and dialed in, because there's not going to be a lot of time and space out there.
It'll be a good battle. I think obviously such a tough team to play against, and we'll try to do the same thing to them. Obviously being physical, being fast, being good in the forecheck. I think it's going to be the key against them.
That was Tom Wilson and Anthony Beauvillier on what they see from the Hurricanes as Washington and Carolina begin round 2 tonight. Welcome back into the Capitals Radio Network. I'm your host, Katie Florio, as we get set for Game 1 here at Capital One Arena. It marks the second all-time playoff meeting between the two teams, the first one coming in 2019. And as far as the regular season goes this year, the Caps and Hurricanes split the season series with the home team winning each contest. As Washington prepares for Carolina, Dylan Strome gave his thoughts about the Canes earlier this week.
I think they play really fast. They get lots of shots. They're good at using momentum in their rink. I think it's going to be a challenge. I think we've had some good games against them this year, but the playoffs obviously is a different animal. So we'll see what Tuesday brings.
This is the second postseason meeting between the Caps and the Canes, with the first being in 2019, where Carolina took Game 7 in double overtime to eliminate the Capitals. John caught up with head coach Spencer Carberry earlier today as the two teams get set for Game 1 coming up shortly.
Well, Spencer, Game 1 here against Carolina. Very strange to have this much of a layoff. How much of it is potentially a benefit for some guys that maybe need a little rest? A guy like Alex Ovechkin maybe to be able to get rested and get ready here for this round 2.
Yeah, we'll see tonight. I mean, it's a bunch of rest, so you hope that benefits your group. They got the same amount of rest. Another day. You just don't know. Sometimes it's nice to get right back out and play right after you get through a series, and other times it's nice to get to utilize the rest. And I think everybody's different in that respect, and hopefully our guys used it in the right way, and now we're prepared, mentally, physically refreshed, and ready to go for Game 1.
Alexei Protas getting into the end of the last series. How important was it for him to be able to get that first game, even with the layoff and the break, just to feel better about his game getting ready for Carolina here, and as he potentially gets moved around the lineup a little bit?
Yeah, I think it's a big step for him just to have gotten that playoff game under his belt. We have some success, we win, so he's felt it. He's not just coming in fresh to a brand new series, playoff hockey, a lot of things flying at him. So I think that sort of calmed him and calmed his nerves and got him just ready to back to, completely ingrained in our lineup and playing and doing all the necessary things he needs to do from a shift-by-shift basis. So that game, to have that under his belt, I think he's just only going to get more and more comfortable, and hopefully he's looking like mid-season pro even as early as tonight or as we get going in the series.
Your team between Game 3 and Game 4 against Montreal was able to harness some of that physical energy, not going over the edge, but a guy like Tom Wilson who reins it in, plays more. This is obviously a heated rivalry between these two teams. How much of that message is the same as against Montreal of being able to be physical? You guys know each other really well. How much of that going into Game 1 is stressed to being even keel but still playing with that physical edge?
Yeah, I think that's our recipe to success, riding that line of being really, really difficult to play against, having a physical presence and edge to the way that we play, and doing it whistle to whistle. And we did an excellent job of that in Game 4 and Game 5, and I think we'll just carry that over into this series. It's going to be highly competitive. It's going to be intense. We know the physicality and how strong of a team Carolina is, and they know they're not going to back down. We're not going to back down, and now it's just on us to just play whistle to whistle and make sure we're initiating and just playing sort of between those whistles and dictating our game.
Spencer, we always appreciate the time. Good luck tonight in Game 1.
Absolutely. Thank you.
That was John with head coach Spencer Carberry earlier today, and Logan Thompson will once again get the start in net for the Capitals after 4 wins in round 1 in a .923 save percentage. Carolina head coach Rod Brindamore says Freddie Anderson is good to go for Game 1 tonight for Carolina after being injured in Game 4 against New Jersey. I had the chance to chat with Thompson yesterday after practice. Well, Logan, obviously an excellent first round for you. Came up big several times. Just take us through your point of view, those games, that series, and how and why you were so locked in.
I think the time away helped. Just getting mentally reset. Dealing with some injuries off the ice. So it helped me fresh to start the series. And yeah, we knew they were going to come out hard. We knew that they probably had the best first line in the NHL coming in the playoffs. So a lot of pre-scouting on that team, which made my life a lot easier. And credit to the guys. I thought we did a good job. Limiting their chances as much as we could and making my life easier. So just it was a full team effort that series.
I'm sure when you're playing, you probably don't pay attention or even hear this much. In Montreal, you have their entire crowd chanting you with Thompson, but then you get home, and when you made some of those incredible saves, you have this group for the first time. It's always the Ovi chant we hear, but for the first time, it's LT, that entire arena chanting your name. If you do pay attention to that at all, how much is it like, wow, literally all eyes are on me?
Yeah, it's cool. It took me a sec there I didn't know if they were chanting me or Ovi, so you couldn't really tell. But once I figured it out, yeah, it's pretty special. It's cool to be appreciated by this fan base. Means a lot. I build off it. I appreciate it, and I love playing in front of this home crowd.
Now looking at the offense in front of you in playoffs, you need a lot of depth scoring. We saw that Brandon Duhaime, 3 goals. Andrew Mangiapane comes up big as well from the offense in front of you. How important is it to see that depth all the way through, not just relying on your top 6?
It's kind of been a thing for us all year. Obviously, we have some tremendous talent in our top 6, but I think we've been getting depth scoring, and I think that's a big reason why we ended up in the position we were. I think everyone steps up in a big way, and everyone pulls their weight, and I think that's just to make up the chemistry of this dressing room that, sometimes you're not going to score every night, but we're just as happy when anyone else is scoring. So it's huge for the team, and we definitely build off it for sure.
Carolina, a tough team all season long, a really, really good goaltender in Freddie Anderson, if he is in fact ready to go. What have you seen out of them in the regular season that you'll try to contain here in playoffs?
Yeah, no, it's going to be a dogfight. They have a lot of skill up front. They got a good decor, and Freddie Anderson's been an elite goalie in this league for many years. I remember watching him back in his Toronto days, so I've always really appreciated his game. So it's going to be a fun game. It's going to be back and forth. They got a lot of talent. That's a team that can put the puck in the net. The way they're coached, they work hard. Definitely no quit on that side. So we're going to have to match their energy. They're going to come out hard game 1, and we got to be ready to go.
My conversation with Logan Thompson yesterday. He has been outstanding in net for the Capitals, but gonna be a tough task tonight. Carolina under Rod Brind'Amour is 8-1 when winning game 1 of the series. We'll now pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Capitals Radio Network, driven by Kia.
The world's greatest coverage.
Taves 3-on-1. Taves, Lee, scores!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Kites Frederick.
We're down to just 8 teams left in playoffs, and the only other game tonight is out west in Vegas as the Golden Knights host the Oilers in Game 1. It's a rematch of the second-round series between these two teams from 2 seasons ago on Vegas's route to their first championship. Vegas won that series in 6 games. Knights goalie Aiden Hill stepped in during the middle of that series to win 3 games for Vegas, and he's expecting some hard feelings to carry over from that series. Each side is coming in off of a strong finish from their first-round matchup. Edmonton won 4 straight games after falling into a 2-0 hole against Los Angeles, while Vegas won the last 3 games of their series with Minnesota after falling behind 2-1. We'll update you more on other playoffs going on later this week, but now it's time to get you back to John, who has starting lineups, goaltender scratches, and more when we return here on the Capitals Radio Network, driven by Kia.
Being there for live NHL games means more thrilling face-offs, more action, and more memories made for the whole family. And when you need tickets to watch the Caps hit the ice, Ticketmaster's got you covered. As the official ticket marketplace of the Washington Capitals and the NHL, Ticketmaster gives you more ways to find your perfect seat with a wide selection of tickets available for every game. And if your plans change, Ticketmaster gives you more flexibility to sell or transfer your tickets. Plus, mobile tickets make it easy to get into the arena and in time for puck drop. Check out the full schedule of upcoming games and get tickets today at Ticketmaster.com.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Save no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
Mayday, mayday. Allergens are at an all-time high, making breathing a misery. You need Hadid. Joe Hadid's unique combination of traditional methods and modern equipment gives your home or office a deep-down hygienic clean for a fresh, healthy, breathing oasis. Call today and take advantage of 10% off in-plant rug cleaning. And why tax yourself with a new Oriental rug or carpet when Hadid's expert repair and restoration team can renew at a fraction of the cost? Breathe easy. Visit JoeHadid.com today.
Make this game night an unforgettable one with a stay at Grand Hyatt Washington. Whether you're here for the big game or to cheer on your favorite player, level up your evening with a top-notch stage as moments from Capital One Arena. Grand Hyatt Washington puts you steps from all of the action with newly renovated guest rooms featuring plush bedding and sleek amenities that make every stay a win. Plus, score 15% off your stay when booking directly at GrandHyattWashington.com with code ARENA. Stay close, stay rested, stay in the game.
The house lights down. We are minutes from game one of this second round matchup. The Capitals and the Carolina Hurricanes as we go between the pipes. Brought to you by United Association. The United Association's Veterans in Piping Program, providing training, careers, and a future for our returning servicemen and women. Visit us at UAVIP.org. It's going to be Freddie Anderson getting the start in goal tonight for Carolina. He allowed just one goal in each of his first two games of the series against New Jersey. He allowed 3 and lost game 3. Then he got hurt early in game 4. Did not play in game 5, but he returns tonight. Anaheim third-round pick in 2012. He's 41-31 in 76 career Stanley Cup playoff games. This playoff year, he's 3-1 with a 1.59 goals against average and a .936 save percentage. Freddie Anderson getting the starting goal for Carolina. For the Capitals, it is Logan Thompson. He gave up just one goal on 29 to win Game 5 here over Montreal. He's allowed just 3 goals on 47 shots over his last 2 games. He is a perfect 3-0 at Capital One Arena this playoff year. Now 6-3 lifetime in postseason games, 2-2 to Vegas. Golden Knights. He is 4-1 with a 2.23 goals against average and a .923 save percentage. That tops in the NHL in round 1. LT in between the pipes tonight for Washington. Taking a look at your starting lineup for the Capitals. They're going to go with the identity line, the down line. They're going to be very, very important. And for now, Alexei Protas is on that line. Don't be surprised if that changes a little bit tonight, but he's going to start there. Skating on the right side, got his first taste of this year's postseason in Game 5 against Montreal after being out for 3.5 weeks. Nick Dowd is at center without a goal in the first round, had an assist in Game 4, and Brandon Duhaime, outstanding finish to his series, 2 goals in Game 4, a goal in Game 5, 3 goals in the first round against Montreal after his 9 in the regular season. Duhaime starting on the left wing. Rasmus Sandin and Matt Roy will start on defense. For Carolina, they will go with Jordan Staal, the veteran down the middle. Just 13 goals in 75 games this year. Did not register a point in the first round against New Jersey. Jordan Martinook, a goal in 5 games against the Devils, is on the left side. And Seth Jarvis, who had a goal against the Capitals April 2nd in Raleigh and 2 goals in round 1 against New Jersey. He starts on the right side. Former Capital Dmitry Orlov won a cup in the Capital sweater 7 years ago. He starts alongside Jalen Chatfield, the pride of Ypsilanti, Michigan. They are lined up here. The crowd is juiced and ready. It's been a week. Caps are ready to get back to Stanley Cup playoff action and looking to get an early lead in this best of 7 second round matchup. We drop the puck next here in the nation's capital. You're listening to the 2025 Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Capitals Radio Network, driven by Kia. Caesars Sportsbook is the official sports betting partner of the Washington Capitals. Download the app if you haven't already, and you can bet all the action right from your seat. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Washington, D.C. No one to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or text 800-426. OLG Class A licensed operator. Caesars Sportsbook, the only sportsbook with Caesars rewards.
We owe so much to our heroes in uniform, but when they come home, what awaits them? We union plumbers, fitters, welders, and service technicians offer training and a career. Our VIP program, Veterans in Piping, provides opportunity for a future of rewarding work. End users and contractors, please partner with us in putting these dedicated, highly trained veterans back to work. Everyone wins. Learn more at UA.org.
Make this game night an unforgettable one with a stay at Grand Hyatt Washington. Whether you're here for the big game or to cheer on your favorite player, level up your evening with a top-notch stage as moments from Capital One Arena. Grand Hyatt Washington puts you steps from all of the action with newly renovated guest rooms featuring plush bedding and sleek amenities that make every stay a win. Plus, score 15% off your stay when booking directly at GrandHyattWashington.com with code ARENA. Stay close, stay rested, stay in the game.
We're set to go. Game one between the Capitals and the Carolina Hurricanes. Your referees for tonight's game, as assigned by the National Hockey League. Number 4, Wes McCauley. Number 21, TJ Luxmore. Graham Skilleter standing by. Scott Cherry and Trent Knorr are on the lines. Get to the Capitals in their starting lineup. It is Duhaime on the left side, down at center. Protas on the right with Sandin and Roy on defense. Game 2 set to go here, and Carolina generates momentum really on a dime, and being able to withstand some of the offensive whims and the energy that they provide. Spencer Carberry saying this morning, they're going to have a couple of good shifts. It can't be 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row. You got to be able to shut them down and take the game to them.
Well, I agree with you. You got to limit their chances. I mean, they're going to get them. They're a very good hockey club. They're in the second round, too. But as you said, none of the 5-10 minutes at a time where they take over.
The puck drops. Game 2 underway here at Capital One Arena. The puck comes in along the near side. It's best of 7. Starting out here tonight in Game 1 is the puck back for Sandin. And across now to Matt Roy. Second series to get started. It had Toronto getting their first victory against Florida in that series. And now the Capitals going here. Edmonton and Vegas coming up later. Icing called against the Capitals. Going to bring it back in front of Logan Thompson off the jump here. Just 19 seconds into the first period.
Well, it'll be like a chess match here, like it is always in pretty much every game, but especially at the beginning of a series. Caps have that last change. Spencer Carberry is going to get what he wants. The matchup he's going to... Well, I think what you said, John, earlier, I think watch for Protas. I don't know if he lasts the whole game on this line. He may get elevated.
Could be part of an offensive switch, depending on how things go here. Just getting his feet wet in Game 5 against Montreal. But here tonight in Game 1, a shot attempt from Gostisbehere in near the right point that deflects off of Duhaime. And a puck that is deflected out of the zone. Defenseman Sean Walker, a teammate of Matt Roy's in Los Angeles. Going to get back in along the near board. And controlled here by Walker, advancing along the right side. Got hit hard by Alexei Protas. Robinson back to Carrier. A forward shot from the blue line is knocked down. And Jankowski picks it up at the left hash mark. And then stripped away by Roy and cleared to center. Both teams changing. Dowd remains as Van Riemsdyk and Alexei Yav will get their blades on the ice for the first time here in Game 1. A minute gone here in the first period. Carolina and Washington.
Now, the Carolina Hurricanes, you can see, they're going to come out hard. They're going to forecheck.
Here comes Dubois, left side in, and a pass on across that Wilson couldn't quite control, breaking in behind the defense and unable to really get much of a chance against Freddie Anderson, but trying to push that back into the Carolina zone to create a little bit more. Here come the Canes the other way. Svechnikov trying to get his blade on it, couldn't get much of a chance against Thompson. Shot from the right point from Burns is blocked. Second chance blocked again. This time kicked out by Carlson to center. Dubois' attempt cross ice is picked off and carried in by Sebastian Aho. Is not the game or not the line that you want to turn the puck over to. They carry it in, but don't do much here. Dubois gets it back, no harm done. Cleared to center. Orlov there for Carolina.
Yeah, they come hard. They've got a great transition game, too. The Caps realizing that the turnovers they had against Montreal, John, and they're not going to cut it here. These guys will turn it around pretty quick.
Alexeyev pinning it up along the back wall inside the Washington zone. Chipped up right side, Orlov. Getting it in behind the net. Both these teams with a week off. Rested. They need to work out a little bit of rust on both sides as Chatfield shot from the right point. Hits a capital stick and goes up and down to play. 17:47 to go here in the first period. Bet on all the sports you love with the Caesars Sportsbook mobile app. When you're ready to wager, make sure you're in or around Capital One Arena. Must be 18+.
Now for the Caps, everybody's getting their chance to get on the ice, get the nerves out, play that first round, but you come out for the second round, it's always nerves, a couple shifts, get yourself into it. Hopefully Logan Thompson feels a couple easy ones right off the bat, gets himself into it too.
Lars Eller is on for the D-zone draw here as he comes out against Kotkaniemi. Going to be a lot of line matching in this series. Spencer Carberry, the luxury of last change, both tonight and Thursday for Game 2. And then off to Raleigh where Rod Brindamore, who has done such a great job with his Carolina team, getting out of the first round 7 straight years. They have sometimes struggled to get beyond that. The Capitals hoping that trend continues. They made quick work of the Devils. New Jersey Devils were never really in that series. And Carolina back in their own zone here with Burns. And a pass up the middle to Kotkaniemi that is knocked aside. And off of Lars Eller and back to center. It is Rasmus Sandin backing up in his zone. Puck possession and sails it right on through. Flagged down by Anderson at the side of the net. Jacob Slavin up to the veteran Taylor Hall. All right side, moving into the circle, into the slot here for Stankoven. And as he returns it to Hall, loses a blade, goes down. And a puck ahead to center is cleared out by the Caps. Leonard trying to get to the Carolina line and beyond, but Canes back to defend and will take it away. Dump it out here with Kotkaniemi. Capitals re-enter with Dubois. He comes in 1-on-3, no place to go. And then Wilson spinning down. Dmitry Orlov back in his zone. And a puck fired here from Martinook. And a save made by Logan Thompson. First difficult save he's had to make tonight, no problem. And a puck in behind the net here. Blue line to Chatfield. And a shot attempt blocked. Nicely done by Wilson. The ricochet coming all the way back in Carolina territory. Big ahead to center. Chatfield and Wilson collide. Chatfield, you want to make that physical investment in the series. Wilson is certainly doing that here. As Carolina from the outside. Shot attempt now Burns from the top of the right circle. And a shot that goes wide. Far wing here for Stahl. 16-10 to go here in the first period of Game 1 as the puck chip up and over the glass and out of play. 16:08 to go here. Ozone faceoff coming up for Carolina. Hard hitting. Make sure that if you make it hurt in Game 1, it may not have as immediate an impact as it might in Game 5, 6, 7, and that's what you try to do with that investment in the series.
Well, Tom Wilson alone, 2 big hits on D-core. The Orlov and Chatfield, 2 defense partners, 2 big hits. You got to lay the body on him. Tom Wilson realizes that's going to be a long series, physical series. 2 teams are kind of evenly matched here. They can play both the same way, but I think if Tom Wilson plays his game, John, defensively, he's going to cause some turnovers.
Carlson and Chychrun are together. Jacob Chychrun in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Only Leon Draisaitl had a personal on-ice goal differential that was better. Chychrun, a +10 when he was on the ice. Draisaitl a +11, and that awfully impressive for number 6 as he, again in this round, as he did in round 1, playing alongside Carlson. A little bit more of an offensive bent. And one here by Carolina back to Gostisbehere. His shot blocked by Dowd. And the Caps trying to clear it up the middle and could not. Svechnikov darting back into the left wing corner. Svechnikov, a lot more veteran player than he was when these teams got together back in 2019. I don't think he's going to be looking for a fight with Alex Ovechkin this time.
I think that those days are done. But you can see, though, I'll tell you what, the forecheck from the Carolina Hurricanes is giving the Caps some trouble early.
Trying to get out of their own zone and skating now, Brandon Duhaime. Duhaime left side. And a bouncing puck that comes up into the Carolina zone.
Hit him up high in the mouth.
Haynes will back up and start even at the side of the net. 15.5 to go here in the first period. Ovechkin staring down from the top of the goal crease as Carolina slowing it down with Gostisbehere in behind the net. And dishing to Brent Burns. We'll pass ahead now to Jankowski at the red line. And beyond Robinson, he'll dump in deep. Sandin easily will get there first. And a whistle. They're going to bring it up out of the zone here with 15:08 to go. They've got intentional offside here. Going to bring it back. Oh, no, they're just going to bring it to center ice here with 15:08 to go in the first period. When the Capitals score a goal in the last minute of any regulation period, fans get a free 6-piece McNuggets with minimum $1 purchase tomorrow only on the McDonald's app.
Well, the Caps got to get some shots on Anderson. He hasn't played in a while. He was hurt and, had a week off. So it's been a little while since he's seen a puck. So they got to get in there. Not easy shots, too. Make them work a little bit.
One by the Canes at center. Burns will dump in. And Roy from behind the net now for Sandin. Capitals have the puck. To pass out of the zone. The forecheck pressure, as Ken said. A little bit of trouble here. Robinson side of the net. Loose puck in off of Thompson. And back up to Slavin in the slot. Shooting. And a puck that comes off Thompson. A rebound along the near board. And for Strome along the near side. Caps can't clear. Living dangerously here. Thompson standing tall. But Carolina getting some looks here. 5.5 gone in the first period. Caps need some better breakouts. And it'll start with Sandin and Roy. Line change, Carolina.
Yeah, no, the forecheck, they're relentless. And they do that coming into it here. So the Caps realize just weather the storm a little bit. Play in the offensive zone. Get some shots. Give your goaltender a little bit of a rest.
Caps do not have a shot on goal. In fact, they don't have a shot attempt yet. 11-0. The shot attempts for Carolina here in the first period. Martinook, left side. Needing to get a little bit more going offensively. A little more than a little. But at center, Chatfield going to dump back in for Carolina. 6 minutes in here. And the shot attempts piling up for Carolina. Martinook lost an edge and went down as he tried to wind up and get it to the blue line. Rights himself in the Zamboni corner. And sending it around on the near wing. Picked up now by Jarvis. And back in behind the net here for Van Riemsdyk. TBR, far side again. Pinned up by Orlov. From the hash marks in, Carolina's owning it here early with 13:30 to go. Thompson has made some big stops. It's a 4-0 shot run to begin the game, and a shot attempt here on the wraparound from Chatfield that deflects away to Jarvis at the right point.
The Caps just running around in their own zone here. They got to settle it down. They need a change, too. These guys are tired. They've been out there a while.
Caps are doing a pretty good job of blocking shots, but they got to break out some pucks here. They're getting owned in their own zone right here. Almost 7 minutes into the first period. This is where some of that rust starts to happen. And now, penalty coming up here is Eller trying to get it moving to center, and it touched up here by McMichael. Got a high sticking call coming, I believe, against Washington with 12:58 to go here in the first period. Door's going to open here near side, and
no, it's going to be on Carolina.
It is going to be on Carolina in the offensive zone here. They're lobbing. Svechnikov is. Let's hear the call downstairs.
Carolina penalty number 20. 2-minute minor. High stick.
Sebastian Aho for the high stick as they tangled up in that corner just off to the left of Logan Thompson. It'll be a Washington power play as they try to right it offensively here. 12:58 to go. Here in the first period of Game 1, no score between Carolina and Washington. You're listening to the 2025 Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Capitals Radio Network, driven by Kia.
Wow, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Save no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Attention commercial businesses and high-rise building owners. Do you want a 100% tax write-off? Recent tax reform laws allow businesses and building owners a 100% tax write-off to install and retrofit fire sprinklers. That's right, a 100% write-off. Go to sprinklerfitters669.org, click on your city, town, or region, select a contractor, and schedule an estimate. The 100% write-off basically gives you free fire protection. Install fire sprinklers now. Sprinklerfitters669.org to save lives and protect property.
Caesars Sportsbook is the official sports betting partner of the Washington Capitals. Download the app if you haven't already, and you can bet all the action right from your seat. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Washington, D.C. No one to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or text 800-426. OLG Class A licensed operator. Caesars Sportsbook, the only sportsbook with Caesars rewards.
Hi, this is Tom Wilson, and you're listening to Caps Radio 24/7 and the Capitals Radio Network.
Sebastian Aho getting the stick up on Alex Alexeyev. Just a little jab in a corner right along the glass left of Logan Thompson. And it gets Washington the first power play. Nice to have Scott Van Pelt from ESPN in the house. Looks like he's wearing a Lars Eller jersey in the suite tonight.
It's nice to see him get over here, support the team.
He's good at supporting the local teams around here. He sure is. Nice to see him and everyone else in a full building here in May in the playoffs. The puck coming here to the right of Anderson for the first power play of the series. And it will stay in right side here for Strome. Capitals had 2 goals in Game 5 against Montreal. Only 3 in the series. Here's a chance for Chychrun. Head from the left of the net. And as Strome was able to get it there, the puck comes back toward John Carlson. Steps in around the blue line, and now for Strome down the middle, drags it past Martin, goes right side, and a shot here from Carlson. That deflects up and out of play. Caps overall 3 for 13 in the series against Montreal. Carolina, well, the good news is they can only get worse from here on the PK because they were a perfect 15 of 15 against New Jersey. I mean, they outclassed the Devils pretty much in every way you possibly could. In special teams, you kill 15 power plays in a playoff series. That is impressive.
Yeah, very impressive. I don't care who you're playing. Give the opportunity 15 times to a team. The chances are, odds for them, they're going to get 1 or 2 goals. But you can see Carolina very aggressive. They're not allowing Caps to set up down low or on the sideboards. They're going to go at them.
Capitals trying to start off strong on special teams. They did in Game 1 against Montreal. Ovechkin scored on the very first attempt. And the puck cleared out here by Carolina. And along now left side for Wilson. And trying to move it toward the blue line. Cross ice. And a lot of east-west here. Caps got to get the puck moving. Minute 13. They're going a penalty to Aho. Chychrun will start it to the red line. Drop to the forward Strome. He'll cut in right side. And hand off to Wilson, dumping it deep in the Carolina zone. Strome has worked on the wall, but keeps the puck in. Blue line out to Carlson, to the top of the right circle. Pass to a low percentage area in the corner from Strome. Across to Ovechkin, a loose puck in front. Chychrun trying to nab it home and couldn't get it to go. Anderson laid out. He did not have firm control of it at the beginning of that sequence, but managed to get it into the glove. 51 seconds left. And the Aho penalty, 11:49 to go in the first. Caps get their first 2 shots on goal of the night, and still scoreless.
Ovechkin with the one-time shot. Didn't get all that, but he gets it on net. The 2 guys in front of the net causing some havoc. Chychrun mad at himself, realizing he had a great opportunity to shovel a puck in. He just missed it. Now the Caps have plenty of time here. 51 seconds, offensive draw. The big unit stays out.
Took 8 minutes and 11 seconds for the Capitals to get their first shot of the night. Washington 4 for 13 in the regular season against Carolina. Dylan Strome assisted on all 3 power play goals in the first round. Ovechkin had 2 of them. Tom Wilson had the other, 23.1%. Carolina power play was 5th in the postseason at 31.6. Back at 31.6 is only 5th is interesting. Face-off going to be to the right here. Strome looking to win the draw with 52 seconds left. And a man advantage. And one cleanly to Ovechkin. Now for Carlson, a drive off the chest protector and out in front briefly. On a rebound try off of Anderson, but he covered it pretty quickly. Still 48 ticks of the clock left in the first power play of the series.
Oh, good shot there. Good play off the face-off. Nice little give to Carlson, but you got to get somebody in front of the net. Too easy of a stop for Anderson. Shot from the point like that. Get somebody in front of the net. He bobbled that a little bit. Maybe there's a rebound.
Back to Martinook, who will backhand it away. And down into the Washington zone, left there by Thompson. And Carlson going to circle back and leave it for Dylan Strome. Final 35 of the power play. Strome crossing the Carolina line. Down the middle, couldn't carry the puck with him. Burns knocks it to the blue line, but not out. Carlson onto Ovechkin, through Wilson in the middle, and out of the right side in Jacob Chychrun. Strome comes from low to high. Back to Chychrun, trying to shake off the defender and Jacob Slavin. Caps looking for a lane, can't find it. Chychrun shot blocked. Jacob forced that one a little bit. It goes off Slavin. Two guys there, Burns two, and clear down ice. That's pretty much going to do it for the power play. 16 for 16, Carolina in the postseason now.
Well, good look by the Caps there. Ovechkin slides down towards it, and Chychrun comes out, takes the point, just doesn't get that puck through.
Dubois, outside to Chatfield. And around out toward Kotkaniemi. Near side kept in, Sandin. Got it low on the right side. A whack at it by Mangiapane, but unable to get much on it. He was pretty tightly defended. Carolina does not let you breathe more often than not when they are at the top of their game. Cleared out here by McMichael. And back to Sandin as the Caps will reset. 10.5 to go in the first period here in game one. Puck sent in along the far wing, and now in behind the net. Carolina will start, and out now to Stankoven. Traded from Dallas at midseason, Mikko Rantanen the other way. Did he have a good first round, by the way? Back down in now along the left-hand side. Stankoven, not a bad first round either, but not Mikko Rantanen level. Back far wing, and a dump out from down to center. Is cut off here by Jordan Staal. He promptly turned it over. And Duhaime up the middle, dumps it in past Eric Robinson. Deep and inside the Carolina zone. Anderson had come out to play it. Two defenders for Carolina work the puck to center. Sean Walker just beyond the red line looking to dump it in. And now Gostisbehere from center. High praise from Spencer Carberry for Shane Gostisbehere this morning.
Well, he had himself a very good first round, too. He's guys that, he's been around and he seems to have found a home here. They like him. He's played well for them.
Up and down in his career. Always good offensive numbers, though. He's got it here. Jumping in across, shot into the glove of Logan Thompson. He'll hold it here with 9:23 to go in the first period. Caps a little slow in getting started at 5-on-5. It was their bread and butter in round one. Look to build on it when we return. 9:23 to go in the first period. No score here in game one. You're listening to the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs on the Capitals Radio Network, driven by Kia.
Hey, Capitals fans, Verizon is proud to support the Capitals in their pursuit of the Stanley Cup. And starting April 19th, if you visit a Verizon store in your Capitals gear, you'll receive an exclusive Capitals t-shirt and a chance to win 2 tickets to a Capitals home playoff game. Visit your local Verizon store. Go Caps! 1 shirt per person while supplies last. Participating locations only. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. See store for details.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable. It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia. Movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
At Leidos, we make things smarter and more efficient. From helping the VA cut disability exam processing times by half, to already being done with this ad. Leidos, making smart smarter. At Leidos, we make things smarter and more efficient. From helping the VA cut disability exam processing times by half, to already being done with this ad. Leidos, making smart smarter.
Hi, this is Alexei Protas. You're listening to Caps Radio 24/7 and the Capitals Radio Network.
Two teams that got feisty during the regular season, meeting here for the right to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. 9:23 to go in the first. Carolina And Washington, no score. John Walton, Ken Saber, and Katie Florio with you here in the nation's capital tonight. Face-off coming up to the left of Logan Thompson. And Sebastian Aho on here against Dubois. This is a matchup we're going to see the whole series.
Yeah, big time. I mean, every time, all they're going to do, you definitely see it when you're playing here. I'm sure Rod Brennamore is going to try to get that line away from him when they have the last matchup, but it's going to be a lot of head-on-head.
Svechnikov centering and a loose puck near Thompson. Nudged by Aho that way, but not a full shot. Up to the outside. Chychrun trying to clear it away. And Dubois knocked out as Chychrun will make his way to center. Looking for our first goal in his second round matchup. 9 minutes to go here in the first period. And Slavin head now to Burns. The Capitals dominated Montreal at 5-on-5, but that has not been the case so far here. As Carolina gets a shot from the outside through from Slavin. Pat stop made by Thompson. He's been under fire a little bit here. Another shot from the outside, and now we get a little bit of feistiness. Post whistle, Wilson is involved with this. Dubois, Svechnikov. I would imagine Tom Wilson is probably saying something along the lines of, remember 2019? Yeah, you won the series, but you didn't finish it. It was not I still can't believe that was one of those things we were talking about today on our flagship station here in D.C. I still, even calling that Ovechkin getting in a fight in the playoffs and knocking down a guy like it was nothing. That was one of the craziest things I've ever seen a Capitals playoff game.
Nothing shocks when it comes to Ovechkin. He continues, but that was, yes, that was a little too much for the youngster to bite off on that one. Sure, he figured it out after that.
Much different player now, 7 years down the line. There's a puck off the post from Gostisbehere and kicked out from behind Thompson onto the right-hand side. A close call. Carolina nearly coming up with the first goal of the series. Now, as they continue to pressure, Martinook brings it back to the blue line. Walker with a shot that goes wide. Picked up now by Jarvis. They are getting to the interior. They are holding the Caps at bay and out shooting Washington up to the minute 9-3 here. With 8:15 to go in the first period.
Well, the speed they have up front is just there. The Caps having a hard time adjusting right now, especially below the hash marks.
Capitals clear to center. And away now to Brandon Duhaime. Duhaime on the left side. Comes in against Stahl. And near side is Protas, unable to hang on to it. He remains with Dowd and Duhaime. As Alexeyev gave the puck away to Jordan Stahl, but not in any position at the end of the shift that Stahl could do anything with it. Got a few things to tighten up here. 7:45 to go in the first period. No score here in game one. Beauvillier across, leaving it for Strome. Looks for a lane to shoot, and again, Kotkaniemi just in the way. Knocks it aside. Capitals have it. Shot from the outside. Again, a block shot as Van Riemsdyk letting that one go, and nicely and quickly, too. He gets it back again. Right side. This time just trying to push it on through, and it ends up missing the net completely. Carolina to center with Taylor Hall. Dumps in. Down deep, Kotkaniemi. In amongst the Capitals D. In behind the goal line, into the corner, back out to Walker. His shot attempt from the right point, knocked down off of Thompson, and here comes Ryan Leonard. Leonard with a move around Gostisbehere. Got a shot away. Sharp angle, but better than the Caps have done for the most part at 5-on-5. He managed to get it to Anderson anyway. First 5-on-5 shot of the game for Washington.
Yeah, good speed down the wing on that one. Using the speed instead of just trying to make that perfect pass. Just get the puck on net. You never know what's going to happen.
That's a good play by Leonard, especially with some of the struggles the Capitals are having early here. Face-off, or the puck rather, back inside the Capital zone. Full stop in behind the net for Carlson. And away to center and beyond to the Carolina line. Burns ends it all the way down. And Thompson had a little trouble with that. Hangs onto it with a glove, and 6:27 to go in the first period here. Time for your Thompson Creek Windows window of opportunity. You get more for your money at Thompson Creek. Capitals trying to get out of the second round for the first time in 7 years after winning their first playoff series for the first time in 7 years. It's only the second time they have seen Carolina. It went 7 in 2019. And they ended up losing out in double overtime to Brock McGinn, but trying to take down the Canes in a playoff series for the very first time.
Yeah, and you can see just by that first, 13 and a half minutes of this period, it's not going to be easy for the Caps. These guys can move. You can see they're playing with a ton of confidence. The Caps got to adjust again. They got to get to their game right now.
Aho, blue line. Burns shot. Blocked in from center point. A rebound that'll come to the near board. Cleared out by Sandin. Chased by McMichael, but ends up on the stick of Brent Burns. Carolina's had a puck of locks here in this first period. 6:05 to go in period one. Shots are 9-4. And the Caps and Canes scoreless. Sandin dumped down. And a puck that comes into the zone behind the net. Rams wanted a call, but I don't think that was a penalty. Back down low here for Slavin. Picked up here by Pierre-Luc Dubois. Capitals do get in the O-zone. Place they bit off in here in his first. Cleared out by Carolina. They'll change. 5:40 to go here in the first period.
Yeah, it's been kind of one and done for the Caps. They get in the zone, either get a shot attempt or something, and that's it. They can't sustain the pressure down low. They got to find their game offensively.
So far in this game, if Chychrun and Carlson aren't on the ice, the Capitals do not have a shot attempt here in the first period. That's the duo that's been driving it from the back end. Picked up now by Dubois. 5:20 to go here in period one. It is slid in by Protas. And down in behind the nets. He remains, and now a penalty coming to Duhame with a needless takedown in the offensive zone. It's going to be a hold here. And Wes McCauley's about to give us the business end of it with 5:09 to go here in the first.
It's a Washington minor hold.
Duhame sets, and the vaunted Carolina power play will take to the ice for the first time in this series. When we return, Katie takes a look at Edmonton, Vegas when we come back. No score here in game one. You're listening to the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs on the Capitals Radio Network, driven by Kia.
Steel deals are happening now. From instant savings on select tools to free battery offers on some of our most popular battery tool sets. You can enjoy great deals and do it all with Steel. Shop online or in store at your local Steel dealer. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
For your first period scoreboard, here's Katie Florio.
Well, at 9:30, it is a rematch of the second round series between the two teams from 2 seasons ago as Vegas takes on the Oilers. Vegas won that series in 6 games. Knights goalie Aiden Hill stepped in during the middle of the series to win 3 games for Vegas, and he is expecting some hard feelings to carry over from that series. Each side is coming in off of a strong finish from their first round matchup. Edmonton won 4 straight games after falling into a 2-0 hole against LA, while Vegas won the last 3 games of their series with Minnesota after falling behind 2-1. Evan Bouchard leads the Oilers with 4 goals, and Tomas Hertl has 3 for the Golden Knights. John?
All right, thanks, Katie. 5:09 to go here. Sebastian Aho tied for the NHL lead this playoff year with 3 power play goals all by himself. And Carolina getting their first chance of game 1 right now as Gostis Bear will bring it on the backhand and send it low into the Washington zone. Svechnikov centering and juggled off the stick of Jarvis. He'll move it far side. 5th in the NHL this playoff year, north of 30%. Gostis Bear does a lot of the quarterbacking from up top. He's got it right circle here. To the forward, Jarvis, center point. Back to Gostis Bear at the right dot. And looking toward the front of the net, looking for a lane. Try to go back door. Missed as Sebastian Aho cutting that way. Capitals not getting much going at 5-on-5. 0 for 1 on the power play, now on the kill for the first time in this series. Late in period 1, no score. Aho, big wind-up, blocked on the way, and that looked to sting Roy a little bit. It's back up and is all right. Svechnikov with a pass back to Gostis Bear. They like working him to the walls. In the back across now to Jarvis. Right hash, blue line here to Aho. And picked up now, near side, blue line. And as he steps in, Aho's shot. Nice stick work there from Roy. Nice active stick that ended up redirecting. It ends up going up and out of play. 49 seconds to go and a penalty to Duhame, and 3:58 to go in the first period. 0-0, game 1.
Well, good PK on that one. The box kept it tight when they weren't able to pressure along the boards, taking away the passing lanes. Aho wanted to pass cross. They want to go cross crease, cross ice. It just wasn't there. They had good sticks. Good body so far by the Caps.
Just under 4 to go here in the first. Caps winning 3 games in this building in the playoffs already. But here getting outshot 9-4. They have done well to keep pucks away from Thompson on the kill. McMichael and Protas will weave out to center, and then McMichael lost control and tried to get the pass to Alexei. And harmlessly into the Carolina zone. Back the other direction, Taylor Hall in the second unit. He had Stankoven. And a puck to center point now for Burns. On the left side, back now for Burns. Blue line, Hall with a shot from the top of the right circle. Juggled here by Thompson. And around now to Kotkaniemi. Blue line for Burns and a drive. It did not miss by much. High slot chance. Burns gets it back. Dishes left side. Shot attempt here. Blocked as Stankoven unloaded. A rebound right side to Hall. And a pass right through Burns. The veteran at age 40 couldn't handle it. At center point, Duhaime is out. Great penalty kill for Washington. They needed that one.
Yeah, good kill. A couple big stops by Logan Thompson on that one. But let's see if this gets some momentum going. Get them excited a little bit here.
Ovechkin at 5-on-5. No score here in game 1. Capitals have withstood a pretty good start to this series by Carolina. Haven't allowed anything. Only one shot on that power play. Up from a sharp angle, Martinook just feeding it off the blade of Thompson. Chatfield and a shot from the top of the right circle. And a puck coming in along the near board. Sent out now by Carlson to center, and away now to Strome in right side. Centered toward Dubois, but a pass a little slow in getting there. And Jordan Staal is able to clear it aside. Capitals starting in their own zone. The forwards back to play it. Dubois and Ovechkin. Roy tried to dump it out of the zone and got it taken away. Carolina, all kinds of pressure as the Capitals have had a boatload of trouble trying to break pucks out here in this first period. Thompson's able to cover this with 2:07 to go in the first period. Capitals hockey tonight brought to you by Capital One, offering checking and savings accounts with no fees or minimums. What's in your wallets?
Well, the Caps, you can look at the Caps played a lot of time in their own zone. 13 blocked shots already in the first period. We're not even done, so nice job sacrificing your body, but you got to play in the offensive zone here. Get a little bit of rest.
Face-off going to be to the right of Thompson. And awaiting the drop comes back Svechnikov shooting, and a puck that hit off of Thompson, off the crossbar and up and out of play. Scary from Svechnikov from long distance. Thompson got a piece of it doing that little lunge forward thing he does. He got it, but it kept off the crossbar and up and out.
Yeah, good, just a one-time shot. And, I mean, you look at it, just an innocent shot coming in, but it had some heat on it. Thompson had to react to it, get out there.
Here's Carolina on a face-off here from Walker. Aho perfect on draws so far tonight. Caps struggling in their own zone. They've lost 7 of 9. Picked up now and behind the net here for Sandin with 1:45 to go in the first period. Duhaime towards center. And a puck that comes up along the left side. Duhaime is there. And Aho now for Jackson Blake. Blake comes in, kicks it back to Aho. Another chance from long distance on goal. Walker stop made by Logan Thompson. Too many shots on goal for Carolina here in this first period of Washington's liking. Here's Duhaime low for Roy, and a puck that is covered up here by Freddie Anderson. We mentioned Anderson's goals against average before this game started. He got hurt and he didn't finish the series, but 1.59 in the first 3.5 games, we'll call it, against New Jersey. You need more than 5 shots on goal. Not nearly enough for the Capitals in the offensive zone, where 5-on-5 was their bread and butter against Montreal. That's something they've got to get back to.
Yeah, you know, we talked about it. You know, the guy missing not much time here. It's been very easy, and really just easy shots for him. Really haven't had a whole lot. They had that 2-on-1 at the beginning of the game. They just missed putting it over to Wilson. But other than that, I mean, the scoring chances not very good. No quality grade A's. So Anderson hasn't even been tested yet.
Not tested at all here in the first. Capitals getting outshot 13-5 as the face-off one back to Burns. Used to be a long series. 2 very good teams going at it. Capitals gotten a very good start here from Logan Thompson. He clears it up the middle, and a stop here from Slavin fired right back at him. Ricochet off the end board is covered up by LT with 1:1:05 now. to go in the first period. Capitals' second ever play with Carolina. Went 2-2 with the Canes during the regular season, and the Caps scored the game's first goal in 4 of the 5 games played in round 1 against Montreal. We have yet to see who gets the first one here, but Capitals a little bit fortunate they haven't given it up. Carolina's been all over them so far.
Well, Logan Thompson's been on his game right from the start. He's made some great stops. You can see that. You need your goaltender to do that, and he's done his job now. The rest of the team have to pick it up a little bit here and get some pressure down low, sustained pressure, not just one and done. Besides the power play, really not a whole lot of offensive puck possession.
Real difference for Thompson compared to what he did on April 2nd in Raleigh. The puck comes back to Burns. Capitals were outshot 12-5 in that first period at Lenovo Center back in early April, but Thompson gave up 3, got hurt, didn't return, and we didn't see him again until the playoffs. Back down inside the Washington zone here into the final minute. Duhane chopped out here by Carlson, and a puck that comes back into Slavin and behind the Carolina net. 35 seconds to go here in period number 1. A little poke check here from Wilson that will turn it back to Dowd. He missed on the connection for Carlson. That's going to get a zone entry for Stankoven. Capitals in behind their net with Carlson here, and ahead to Strome. They gather it up and get it out. Ahead up the left side. And for Wilson as he goes shoulder to shoulder with Chatfield. Puck on the blue line. And a puck knocked down right side, and a shot attempt blocked out to Sandin. Back to the right wing side, and Strome couldn't get it to go. Back down in behind the net toward Ovechkin, and that's the end of the first period. I think the best thing for Washington is it is still scoreless, and maybe a cheap lesson here in the first 20 minutes. The forecheck for Carolina was excellent. They forced a lot of turnovers. They got chances on Thompson, and Logan Thompson, the biggest reason why this game's still 0-0 here in game 1 after 20.
Oh, yeah, Logan was outstanding. I mean, the Caps just not a whole lot of pressure on the offensive side. Too much defending. That's going to wear you down, too. Doesn't have to get hit all the time, but it's harder to play in your own zone. You play the majority of the game in your own zone, it's going to wear you down. So the Caps going to go in there, break, do some adjustments here, see if they can come out here and just turn the tide on the Hurricanes.
Last time for Ovechkin and Strome, we saw Tom Wilson instead of Anthony Beauvillier. Whether that's a one-off or if maybe some things are starting to change, we'll find out with you as the second period gets going. Katie Florio's got you covered at first intermission. Her interview with Alexei Protas is coming up. End of 1 period here in game 1 of this second round matchup. No score between Carolina and Washington. You're listening to the 2025 Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Capitals Radio Network, driven by Kia.
To be at the top of your game? At MedStar Health, it means putting your heart into every play, trusting in teamwork, never giving up, and bringing your best no matter what. At MedStar Health, we're proud the Capitals continue to trust us as their medical team year after year. And how we treat the pros is how we treat you. Because together, we can take on anything. MedStar Health, it's how we treat people.
This is Bruce Boudreau. When it comes to selling homes, Wes Stearns is on my power play. Wes is a Navy veteran and a family friend who's sold over 2,500 homes. I trust him, plain and simple. Whether you're buying or selling, give Wes a call at 703-878-0000 or visit callwes.com. Want to know your home's value? Head over to getyourwestimate.com. Take it from me, Wes Stearns is your MVP in real estate.
The FAA employs 10% fewer fully certified air traffic controllers today than it did 10 years ago, and 25% fewer trainees than 5 years ago. The FAA's staffing plan is not working. That's why Congress must require the FAA to replace its failed staffing plan with a plan that meets all of the FAA's needs and hire the maximum number of air traffic controller trainees possible for the next 5 years. The National Air Traffic Controllers Association, NATCA, we guide you home.
Attention commercial businesses and high-rise building owners. Do you want a 100% tax write-off? Recent tax reform laws allow businesses and building owners a 100% tax write-off to install and retrofit fire sprinklers. That's right, a 100% write-off. Go to sprinklerfitters669.org, click on your city, town, or region, select a contractor, and schedule an estimate. The 100% write-off basically gives you free fire protection. Install fire sprinklers now. Sprinklerfitters669.org to save lives and protect property.
Do you have an air conditioning emergency? If so, you need HVAC 911. Call 301-939-0499 or visit HVAC911.com/EC for service 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The most skilled and experienced HVAC technicians in the DMV are only a call away. 301-939-0499 or visit HVAC911.com/EC for service 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Brought to you by Steam Clears Local 602. Being there for live NHL games means more thrilling face-offs, more action, and more memories made for the whole family. And when you need tickets to watch the Caps hit the ice, Ticketmaster's got you covered. As the official ticket marketplace of the Washington Capitals and the NHL, Ticketmaster gives you more ways to find your perfect seat with a wide selection of tickets available for every game. And if your plans change, Ticketmaster gives you more flexibility to sell or transfer your tickets. Plus, mobile tickets make it easy to get into the arena and in time for puck drop. Check out the full schedule of upcoming games and get tickets today at Ticketmaster.com.
The Canes back to defend and will take it away. Dump it out here with Kotkaniemi. Capitals re-enter with Dubois. He comes in 1-on-3, no place to go, and then Wilson spinning down. Dmitry Orlov back in his zone, and a puck fired here from Martinook. And a save made by Logan Thompson. First difficult save he's had to make tonight, no problem.
Welcome back into the Capitals Radio Network as Washington and Carolina are scoreless after one period of play here in Game 1 in the nation's capital. But that one was all Carolina. Logan Thompson, the reason this game is still scoreless, a lot of big saves just because the Capitals spending too much time defending their own zone. You know the way Carolina plays. They do not give you any time and space at all, and that is exactly how they came out in these first 20 minutes. That Carolina forecheck is relentless. The Capitals having a lot of trouble trying to break out of it. And after the first 7 minutes, shot attempts were 7-0 Carolina. And the period eventually finishes with Carolina out shooting Washington 13-5. With 12:58 to go, Washington gets an opportunity on the power play thanks to a Sebastian Aho high sticking penalty, but the Canes special teams is spectacular. They killed off all 15 penalties against New Jersey in the first round, and now they are 16 for 16 in the postseason so far. The Capitals had their best looks of the period coming on the power play. Alex Ovechkin with the best opportunity of the night so far for Washington, but that one not able to go in. And just the Canes getting to the interior a lot more than Washington. Washington having a hard time adjusting to that style of play and a hard time sustaining pressure offensively. They'll get one shot off and then kind of done, and it's back in their own zone to defend. With 5:09 to go here in the first, Brandon Duhaime then takes a holding penalty. Not what you want to do, especially against a team that is already generating so much offensive momentum. It was a good first kill for Washington, though. Some big stops from Logan Thompson as he keeps this team in it. A lot of shot attempts for Carolina. So once again, the Capitals lucky to come out of that period scoreless, not trailing. The Canes forecheck hard, their defensemen pinch, and they just hound the puck. A style of play that they have played all year long. Nothing that is new, but they continue to do it here in the postseason, and it continues to work in the first period for Carolina. Now turning our attention to my conversation with Alexei Protas earlier today. Of course, he had a rough first round. He was cut in the foot by a skate on April 4th, ended up missing most of the series. His first game back was Game 5 against Montreal, but of course he made the trip to Montreal, was able to skate, practice with the team. There was a lot of buildup of when he was going to get back in the lineup. He finally makes his postseason debut here at home, Game 5 against the Canadiens. Now he is in full swing, full force, and hoping to make an impact in this series, as I had the chance to catch up with him earlier today. Well, Alexei, first and foremost, thank you for joining Rink Report today. And for you, how does it feel to finally be back in the lineup in the most important time of year?
Yeah, it feels great. It felt pretty long, even if it was like a couple of weeks, you still miss it. You want to be like back with the boys, just skating, have fun. And finally great to be back and so happy to get it going.
We know playoffs are a different breed, a different animal. So when you do have to jump right back in the first round after almost a month off away from the ice, how do you do that and be able to do so while catching up to speed and try not to miss a beat?
yeah, I tried to feed off the boys' energy first 4 games. You know, I've been watching, just cheering, and watching from up top. The energy was unreal. The home crowd was buzzing. Even in Montreal, it was a great atmosphere. You know, to just see it and feel it. And when I got back in there, again, I was just feeding off my boys and just trying to play my best.
You mentioned watching from up top. Obviously, you want to be on the ice contributing, but to be up there, a place where we don't see you often in the press box, does it kind of give you maybe a different perspective to watch a game, to watch most of that series from there? And are you able to pick out things that maybe you typically wouldn't?
Yeah, absolutely. You could see something different from up top. Like all the things we talk about, you can see it really works when we play our game, you know. And yeah, maybe from up top it looks a little bit easier. You feel like you're the best playmaker ever from the top. But, you know, when you see you could make that play, but you understand how hard is it and how heavy the game is, how fast the game is in the playoffs. And yeah, it's been fun watching from up top, but for sure I prefer to be with the boys and play.
Well, we are certainly happy that you're also back with the boys. A big series. Round 2 starts with Carolina tonight. A tough team that does not give you a lot of time and space. What are your takeaways from the regular season with the Hurricanes that you'll have to contain tonight and try to get this win in Game 1?
Yeah, we know them well. They know us well. You know, it's going to be a great matchup, great series, and I think we're prepared. We know what can we take positive from the wins and obviously all the games, but we're also prepared to we know what to expect, and we're prepared for that.
And last one for you. 7 years since this team advanced out of the first round. So start round 2 here tonight, home crowd, Capital One Arena. How much do you try to also just enjoy it? It's obviously there's nerves, it's a lot going on, but enjoy what you all have worked so hard for this season.
Yeah, it's been so special to feel the support from the fans, from everyone, you know, and yeah, we had a successful regular season, but I don't think it really matters in the playoffs. It's fresh start for us. Every series, it's pretty much fresh start, and we got to be ready for this. You know, we're excited about the home crowd, home start. It's going to be special, and we're excited.
Well, thanks, Pro. We can hear they're certainly excited behind us, too. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
That was my conversation with forward Alexei Protas earlier today. A career year for him. He reached the 30-goal mark on March 30th versus Buffalo. He has 2 assists and 4 career Stanley Cup playoff games, all coming last season, as he is still looking for his first point of this postseason. Once again, coming off that injury and line with Nick Dowd and Brandon Duhaime, but we wouldn't be surprised to see him elevate and move up as this series goes along. But once again, the Capitals and Canes scoreless after 1 period of play, as we now go to our radio intern Jake Herman with stats from the period.
Well, Katie, the Hurricanes have certainly controlled 5v5 plays so far. It actually took the Capitals more than 11 minutes to get their first even strength shot on goal to start this series. High danger chances sit at 6-2 in Carolina's favor. A couple of those came off of face-offs. The Capitals have only won 2 of 11 defensive zone draws so far. Sebastian Aho, Carolina's top line center, he's a perfect 5 for 5 on face-offs at the moment.
Thank you, Jake, for providing our stats of the period, and that says it all right there. Their defensemen pinch, they forecheck hard, they hound the puck, and the Capitals trouble in the face-off circle as well. The Canes have won 72% of face-offs compared to Washington's just 28% through these first 20 minutes so far. So the Caps looking to make some adjustments out the intermission and come out and try to get on the board here first in round 2, game 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. We'll now take a quick break, and when we return, we'll check the out-of-town scoreboard. That is all coming up next here on the Capitals Radio Network, driven by Kia.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable. It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
This is Bruce Boudreau. When it comes to selling homes, Wes Stearns is on my power play. Wes is a Navy veteran and a family friend who's sold over 2,500 homes. I trust him, plain and simple. Whether you're buying or selling, give Wes a call at 703-878-0000 or visit callwes.com. Want to know your home's value? Head over to getyourwestimat.com. Take it from me. Wes Stearns is your MVP in real estate.
We owe so much to our heroes in uniform, but when they come home, what awaits them? We union plumbers, fitters, welders, and service technicians offer training and a career. Our VIP program, Veterans in Piping, provides opportunity for a future of rewarding work. End users and contractors, please partner with us in putting these dedicated, highly trained veterans back to work. Everyone wins. Learn more at UA.org.
Our postseason run is presented by Vanda Pharmaceuticals, a company headquartered here in our nation's capital, committed to developing new medications to improve people's lives. Just like your Washington Capitals, Vanda's commitment is to challenge the status quo and propel innovation forward in the pursuit of happiness. From groundbreaking therapies to players making history, we know excellence is derived from exceptional people coming together as a team. Let's go Caps.
We'll pause 10 seconds now for station identification on the Capitals Radio Network, driven by Kia.
The world's fastest game.
Right over the pass and they score! John Tavares!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Tights Frederick.
Welcome back into the Capitals Radio Network as Washington and Carolina are scoreless after 20 minutes of play, with Carolina controlling a lot of that period. Shots on goal, 13-5 for the Canes after 20 minutes. But Logan Thompson keeping his team in it as we now take a look with playoffs around the league. Just one other game going on tonight at 9:30. It is Edmonton and Vegas, a rematch of the second round series between these two teams from 2 seasons ago on Vegas's route to their first Stanley Cup. Vegas won that series in 6 games, and Knights goaltender Aiden Hill stepped in during the middle of the series to win 3 games for Vegas. Each side is coming in off of a strong finish from their first round matchup. Edmonton won 4 straight games after falling into a 2-0 hole against LA, while Vegas won the last 3 games of their series with Minnesota after falling behind 2-1. Other games in action earlier this week. Toronto now leads Florida 1-0 in the series after they won Game 1 between the Leafs and Panthers last night. William Nylander had 2 goals and an assist in the first period as the Toronto Maple Leafs held off the Florida Panthers for a 5-4 win. And Winnipeg and Dallas both finishing first-round series with exciting Game 7s. They will face off in Game 1 tomorrow night. We will have more updates for you later on, but now it's time to get you back to John, who has a call of the second period here on the Caps Radio Network, driven by Kia.
Well, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
Attention commercial businesses and high-rise building owners. Do you want a 100% tax write-off? Recent tax reform laws allow businesses and building owners a 100% tax write-off to install and retrofit fire sprinklers. That's right, a 100% write-off. Go to sprinklerfitters669.org, click on your city, town, or region, select a contractor, and schedule an estimate. The 100% write-off basically gives you free fire protection. Install fire sprinklers now. Sprinklerfitters669.org to save lives and protect property. Caesars Sportsbook is the official sports betting partner of the Washington Capitals. Download the app if you haven't already, and you can bet all the action right from your seat. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Washington, D.C. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or text 800-426. OLG Class A licensed operator. Caesars Sportsbook, the only sportsbook with Caesars rewards.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable. It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Down to the second period here in game one. Capitals outshot 12-5. They did not do well at the faceoff dot. 72-28 in favor of Carolina. Nick Dowd was 0 for 7 in that first period. Surprisingly, Pierre-Luc Dubois only took 2 faceoffs. That is usually not what we would expect, especially with D-zone starts. Dowd took a lot of them. Have to keep an eye on that as this second period underway, and the Capitals controlling it in their own zone.
Yeah, you know, they're looking at them to come out a little harder here. Hopefully they have a few more offensive draws, not all defensive here in the second period. So give it a little break here. I'm sure they had some adjustments between periods.
Need a little bit more as the puck sent in. Logan Thompson very good in the first period, needed to be. As the puck sent back to center, and Orlov stopping at the Carolina line. Cross ice in front of the player benches, found by Sandin and dumped in. Capitals need to get some forecheck going. Here's a puck in front for Strome. Tried to pull the trigger against Chatfield and couldn't quite get it on Freddie Anderson, but it's one of the better chances the Capitals have had, and maybe something encouraging as the second period gets started.
You know, Orlov couldn't get that puck up the boards there, and the Caps get it, just throw it towards the net. Good things happen.
Puck comes from the outside, and Thompson able to make his first save of the period here, 19:10 to go in the second period. At MedStar Health, we're proud the Capitals continue to trust us as their medical team. How we treat the pros is how we treat you. MedStar Health, it's how we treat people. Draw going to be to the left of Thompson here. Carolina scored just 3 first-period goals during the entire first round against New Jersey. They got none tonight. Outscored 5-3 in the first 20 minutes with the Devils. That's the good news. The puck comes in from the outside. Second and third periods were very good for them. Here comes McMichael. He's got room left side, into the left side, and then forced in behind the net. Lost an edge and went down.
That's twice he's lost an edge right now. He's having trouble with the skates right now.
Coming back near side for Wilson. Centering try. McMichael caught up 2 in a high slot, but got forced out of the zone by the Aho line. And back down inside the Carolina zone here. 18:40 to go in the second period. No score here in game one. Carlson takes the puck away from Blake. Carolina coming like a house of fire inside the first period on the forecheck. Here's Dubois with a shot. Hit the crossbar. In tight as the puck came in between the dots. Dubois nearly giving the Capitals a lead. And now the puck into the left corner. It's Wilson, left side, blue line. Van Riemsdyk tees one up, loose puck, and is immediately covered, smothered with a glove hand of Freddie Anderson. Little bit of a defensive collapse there by Carolina. Dubois gets the puck all alone in between the dots, lets it fly. Beat Anderson, just couldn't quite get it to go off the bar.
Yeah, huge defensive gap by the Carolina Hurricanes, and you don't see that too often there. Pierre-Luc Dubois standing by himself in front of Anderson, just can't. He hits the crossbar, but again, a little better here in the second period. A couple shots on him, getting bodies in front, trying to disrupt them a little bit. You know, baby steps here.
Each team with a power play chance in the first period, both 0 for 1. Duhaime went off 14:51 holding. Aho 7:02 high sticking. And no goals as the puck from the outside after a Caps face-off win. Rare that was in the first period. Alexeyev shot misses, and Carolina able to clear it up the ice. And then Robinson able to beat Alexeyev to the puck, keep the play going. Onto the far wing, and Carrier. Now the right hash. Taken away here by Alexeyev. And a backhander. That comes to center. Eller across the blue line here for Leonard. And not a lot that he could do with it against Carrier. Ends up getting it on net, but not at all a scoring chance. Easily covered here by Anderson with 17:46 to go in a second. Tonight's Capitals upcoming home game presented by Ticketmaster. Cap's going to be your Thursday for game 2. You should be as well. Get tickets now. Ticketmaster.com/Capitals.
Oh, the third line, you want to call it. The Oilers line didn't get a ton of ice time in that first period. I'm sure now they've been out already, so I'm sure they recognize that. Try to even it up a little bit more, gets a little more fresh bodies.
They always put the Dowd line on line 4, but in reality, they have really always been line 3 because they're the ones that get more ice time. At center for Roy, and ahead to Strome. Cross to Ovechkin, left circle. And at the top of it against Chatfield, couldn't get the puck through. Beauvillier still on this top line. We saw Wilson for just an instant at the end of the first period. But back to Beauvillier top line here. Puck in the middle. Ovechkin couldn't get launched. And Stankoven on the move here for Carolina. Right up the middle, leading for Chatfield. His shot attempt from outside the left circle goes wide, and then fouled by Taylor Hall. Funneled toward the front of the net. Hits off Anderson, or hits off of Thompson, and a puck towards center here for Matt Roy. A little short hop. Strome lobs in on Anderson. Caps a little bit more zone time here in the second period. Carlson cross ice just across offside.
That was offside.
Face-off coming with 16:57 to go in the second period. Mentioned these strong finishes for Carolina. They outscored New Jersey 9-4 in the second period, 6-1 in the third. Added up, that's 15-5 over the last 40 minutes. This is where they start to come to life offensively. The Capitals, good to shut them down in the first, or at least keep them off the board, if not shut them down. But shutting them down in the second and third period is going to be a more difficult task.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully they had all their major offensive chances in the first. The Caps just weathered that one, but a little different here so far. A little, not so much in their own zone, the Caps. Some pucks in towards Anderson.
Here comes Martinook across the blue line. Chips in past Carlson, deep into the Washington zone. Around to the far corner, the veteran Jordan Stahl. As far as the right hash, feeding it back down low into the corner for Jarvis. And Jarvis going to fire it down in behind the net. Stahl there. And his Stout is taken down.
So hard to play against. He's so strong.
He's still, even this late in his career, Jordan Stahl, nothing to mess with. Here's a puck from the outside. And he's knocked down in from center point. Capitals doing a pretty good job. Keeping pucks away from Logan Thompson here. And out to center, some daylight now for Protas. Right side shooting, he scores! Alexei Protas drives the right side, lights it up, puts it through Anderson. 16:07 to go in the second. It's 1-0 Washington.
Well, good transition gains by the Caps on that one, and Protas gets it. Comes down the wing and just calls his own number. Uses his partner as a decoy. A quick shot beats Anderson to the far side. Perfect shot just over the pad under the glove. And the Caps up 1-0.
Oh, Alexei Protas, how we missed you. Back in Game 5. He comes up with a first goal of the series. Drives the right side. Anderson saw it coming all the way. He just got beat. Encouraging on any number of levels there. Capitals up 1-0 here in Game 1. Puck sent back into the Carolina zone. And down in behind the net. See if that doesn't get a little bit more. Big Mo going Washington's way here. Huge goal from Alexei Protas after Carolina pretty dominant in 5-on-5 in the first period. Here's Sebastian Aho. Right side and away to center. Aho trying to drive into the Capital zone. And he'll fire it back in along the right wing. Huge momentum turner. The home team hopes. And a lead in the series. 5 out of 6 times now they have scored first in this playoff year. Puck now from McMichael. Into the corner and taken there by Jackson Blake. The breakout now from the Canes. And away to center for Sebastian Aho. Left side, leaving it back for Svechnikov. And a puck that goes wide here to Sandin. And the Capitals will bring it ahead. 15:05 to go here in the second. Electrifying this crowd here tonight in the nation's capital. Looking to get a leg up in his best of 7 second round matchup. In is Mangiapane right side, centering. And for Lars Eller, giving it back to the outside. Mangiapane getting it down back in behind the net. Puck for Taylor Hall. And up now to center, Alexeyev. Swipes it away from Kotkaniemi. And a pass. A little trouble getting out of the zone here. Back for Van Riemsdyk. And a hopper that comes back into the Carolina zone and an icing call against Washington. Time for Who's Hot, brought to you by Steam Fitters UA Local 602, providing the best in mechanical services and process piping systems. No one was better at putting points on the board in the first round, and Dylan Strome was. 9 points. Team leader in Montreal had points in all 5 games of the first round. And 9 more, and those 9 points are 4 more than anyone else on the Washington roster. He was outstanding.
Yeah, he's so consistent throughout the whole year of the playoffs. Doesn't matter. You know what you're going to get with Dylan Strome, that's for sure. But Caps much better here in the second period, John. Much better. I mean, they're closing the gap on the shots. You look at the hits, they're getting up there too, and even the faceoffs aren't near as bad. So gradually, they're starting to get to their game.
Alexei Protas, who missed the end of the regular season in the first 4 games of the Montreal series, has struck first here in the second period of Game 1 from Brandon Duhaime and John Carlson. Time of the goal, 3:53. Carolina in the offensive zone, their fourth line here with Robinson. Back behind the net, and a pass that goes through Jalen Chatfield. So a good first period and good push by Carolina to begin. A lot more even here in the second as Capitals starting to maybe impose a little bit more of their own will. Chikrin. And at center, Chatfield hit down by Ovechkin. Puck came into the Washington zone, but quickly cleared by Carlson. And a bouncing puck back for Dmitry Orlov, who promptly gave it away. Tom Wilson drives it in left side. It'll roll it in behind the nets. Capitals, a lot better zone time here to begin this period. 13 and a half to go in period 2. Washington leading 1-0 here in Game 1. Here to head, back down here for Carolina. Svechnikov with a shot and a save made by Logan Thompson. And as the puck covered up by number 48, we will step aside. Alexei Protas' first goal of the Stanley Cup playoffs, giving the Caps a 1-0 lead. His first ever Stanley Cup playoff goal as the Caps up 1 here in the middle frame. You're listening to the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs on the Capitals Radio Network, driven by Kia.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable. It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Oh, the sadness you feel when you realize you've picked up your very last hot, crispy McDonald's fry. But what's this? More fries at the bottom of your bag? Oh, the joy! The joy! Oh, wait. Never mind. They're gone again. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hi, this is Alexei Protas. You're listening to Caps Radio 24/7 and the Capitals Radio Network.
1-0 Washington here, 13-19 to go in the second period of game number 1. We might have to do a deep dive in how many times that Katie Florio has done an interview in the morning on Rink Report. We had the interview at first intermission. And how many times that player has scored on the same day that talks to Katie. Might be the Katie Shine coming off in the morning.
Well, I think she should just pick who she wants every morning. That would be
I think we got to talk with PR. Yes. We got a thing here.
I'm sure they're not going to argue in the room if that's going to happen.
Yeah, it said line up for goals here. The line starts here, boys. Left side here for Wilson. 13 minutes to go here in the second period. John Ken and Katie with you here. Capital One Arena, Washington. 1-0. Capitals up here. Svechnikov drives in right side. Blue line to Bird. One-timer. And is tipped down at the side of the net. And picked up on the right dash. And now for the blue line. And Ian, as Gostisbehere lets it go just short of the right circle. And blocked on the way. Gostisbehere, cross ice, and a right point shot attempt. This is more of what we saw the Caps do against Montreal, where even when the puck is in the offensive zone for the opposition, you're keeping them to the outside, you're blocking a lot of shots, and you're keeping those high-danger chances away from Logan Thompson. Not so much in the first period, but in the second, much better here.
Oh, I think it's like night and day in the second period from the first period. I mean, the Caps just doing a nice job. Carolina's a very good hockey club. They're going to get their chances. They realize that. It's just, you know what? If they want to shoot the puck, let them shoot from the outside. Box out, let Logan Thompson see that puck as much as possible. Less deflections, the better. So a lot better here. They're not having their way here in the second period, the Hurricanes.
30 goals in the regular season for Protas. A goal tonight, his first since March 30th, right here in this building against Buffalo. And the first goal of the series has Washington up by 1. Here's Gostisbehere. Goes to the outside and back down into Carolina territory. Shots are even in this period at 4-4. That is much better than the 12-5 clip that Carolina went in the first period. They had some good chances on Logan Thompson. Hit a crossbar. That didn't even count among the shot attempts. But coming out now for Duhane. And ahead now to Carlson. Dumps in. And on the right side, Kotkaniemi taken down along the end board. Stankoven. Pass as he was hit along the boards. Got it out nicely here to center. Gostisbehere charges in left side. And a puck that hit Chychrun. Looks like it hit him kind of high, but a block shot in toward Thompson. And Kotkaniemi to forward now. Right point. Looking for a shot lane. Can't find it. And got it knocked down. Tried to force it through and failed. And Sean Walker is hurting as he goes to the Carolina bench. Up back in by Kotkaniemi. And whatever happened to Walker, he's doubled down and needs trainer's help on the Carolina bench. That's a big part of their defense right there. Back down to the Carolina zone. Played by Anderson. All the way ahead and neutralized to Jankowski, who will dump in. And around now on the left side, cross ice now. Protas. Alexei in front of Jankowski and Bucket Robinson. Filter on back down into the Washington zone. Carrying in front, controlled here by Roy. And now for Protas, and ahead right side. Beauvillier gains the Carolina zone, followed by Chatfield into the corner. Chatfield lands a clean hit, and Robinson takes the puck away. 10:50 to go here in the second period of Game 1. Capitals leading 1-0 here in Game 1 of this best-of-7 second-round matchup. Caps here with Ovechkin. Capitals won 3 games in this building already. This playoff here, looking to make it 4 for 4. Here's a centering try from Jankowski to pass a little bit behind Jordan Martinook, and away to center. Here comes Lars Eller. Into the zone and around Jarvis. Pulls up left hash mark. And fed in behind the net. Now to the right corner. And Andrew Mangiapane. To Eller in the trapezoid. Sent it far wing. Sandin had it and lost it to Jordan Stahl. The puck to center. And carried in here by Jarvis. Right circle up and into the glove of Logan Thompson, who has looked very poised. Any pucks that have come his way, I always feel when you watch him, if that glove hand is going, you just feel that confidence exuding, and I think his teammates probably feel that too.
Yeah, and you look at him, he's not in a lot of movement too, and usually Logan's, he's a scrambly goalie. He's not a lot of movement. He's seeing the puck. He's feeling good about it. Even that shot, that shot came in, but he could see it. I mean, if he sees it, he's going to stop it. So he's been very good, outstanding, especially in the first period. He kept this. Gave his team an opportunity to go ahead 1-0 because if it wasn't for him, they'd be struggling right now. But so Caps much better. They responded well, using all 4 lines. A little more neutral zone play, a little less defensive play for the Caps.
Off the draw, controlled by Aho. Blue line here to Gostisbehere. Right side, big wind-up coming from Aho. Found by Svechnikov. He tried to wrap it around. Went through the blue paint and out the far side. Out of Sandin, low along the yellow behind the net. Jackson Blake just took it from him, tried to center, but gave it away. McMichael on the move with Carlson. And Carlson gets it back to Mikey. Pass in front to Wilson. Trying to bang it home along the near post. Nearly worked. They got Anderson moving, just couldn't quite get the finish. Carolina the other way with Aho centering here.
Great back check by Tom Wilson, who leads the rush. He's back there, makes a nice little back check.
Back out of the center of the ice and into the Carolina zone. Gostisbehere and Dubois continue to battle. Jackson Blake. Center ice goes from left to right. Carolina entering the zone. Right circle. There's that glove again. Just snagging it out of midair. No problem. LT making it look easy as we go to break. 9:16 to go in the second period of Game 1. Alexei Protas has Washington in front 1-0. You're listening to the 2025 Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Capitals Radio Network. Driven by Kia.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Most people don't know what a steam fitter is. More importantly, what we do and how much it impacts you. Just take a moment to think about what your world would look like if you didn't have the ability to generate electricity, to have heating or air conditioning, microchip production, internet service, web-based storage, cellular service, and frozen or refrigerated produce. Could you imagine? And these are just some of the things that we impact. Please visit steamfitters-602.org and let's talk about how we can bring value to you.
Caesars Sportsbook is the official sports betting partner of the Washington Capitals. Download the app if you haven't already, and you can bet all the action right from your seat. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Washington, D.C. No one to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or text 800-426. OLG Class A licensed operator. Caesars Sportsbook, the only sportsbook with Caesars rewards.
Hi, this is Connor McMichael. You're listening to Caps Radio 24/7 and the Capitals Radio Network.
9:16 to go here in the second. Face-off coming up in front of Logan Thompson. Capitals hockey tonight brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Discover what happens when rugged capability meets true performance. Learn more at Kia.com. Kia, movements that inspires. Thompson is ready. Jankowski for the ozone draw. Capitals struggling at the dot tonight. Little better here in this period. Alexeyev, after a face-off win by Eller, forced to the blue line but not out. Shot from Brent Burns goes wide. And attacked by Leonard. And he can't quite clear. Carrier feeding to Jankowski. Centered up here to Robinson, and he cannot. Get turned around to try and shove a greasy one home from the top of the blue paint.
Rod Brind'Amour having confidence in his fourth line here, starting him after a timeout in the offensive zone. You don't see that too often, but he has a ton of confidence in it.
Here comes Alexeyev to center for Ryan Leonard. Tried to enter the zone and couldn't do it against two defenders. Tried to do it himself. And back down to the blue line for Alexeyev. A big pass picked off by Burns. Burns comes near side. Burns is double the age of Ryan Leonard, 40-20. The puck that is frozen down in the neutral zone here with 8:28 to go in the second period. Capitals got 8 points from defensemen in 5 games in round one against Montreal. Chychrun had both goals. That was one of their bread and butter in the regular season. 200 points from D-Man. Was the fourth highest in the NHL. They got a point tonight from John Carlson on the goal from Protas.
Yeah, Carlson, who only had one, unusual. He only had one in the first round. He gets one already, so it'd be great if he starts to heat up offensively.
Face-off win in the neutral zone, won by Carolina. And Orlov can't enter the zone, and there's Carlson sweeping it ahead. Ovechkin going to beat Jarvis to the puck. Centers and a big bounce all the way to Chychrun, and a shot he fired just missing. And Anderson was under some duress there as the puck ends up in the far corner for Chatfield. 8:05 to go here in the second. Big hit. And Ovechkin was able to land on Jarvis. Caps keep it in the O-zone. Strome from the outside, got it through. Might have changed directions a little bit off the stick of Ovechkin. Stahl trying to clear, and the Caps turn it around. Beauvillier with a shot, and a save made by Anderson. Capitals, great job on the forecheck there of turning that puck over and turning it into a great offensive chance. This puck goes up and out of play. Things starting to change the other way now for Washington. 18-11 the shots now with 7:44 to go in the second.
Well, the big guy, the leader, Ovechkin, two big hits, a nice little deflection in front from the point. Beauvillier has a man-on-man, just him and Anderson. He gets a nice shot, but the physical play causing the turnovers, getting it on the forecheck, something they didn't have in the first period. The second period, it started to come for them.
Beauvillier had a goal in game one against Montreal in a very similar circumstance where Ovechkin was banging around, got the puck down to him. He was able to put home a rebound off Sam Montembeault. This is a little different in a pass to him, but right in the right place. Slavin trying to get it up. The Caps counterpunch here in the second period has been good. It's head now to Svechnikov. Carolina not getting nearly the chances they did in the first, good or otherwise. Inside as they get into this offensive zone here, Svechnikov kept to the perimeter. Tied up here by Wilson. Dubois matched up with his line. And a puck that goes up in the air beyond McMichael. Dubois picks it up, Carolina line. A pass ahead. He thought that Sandin might have been closer than he was. Thought he'd free him up for a charge up ice instead. A turnover to Carolina will clear. Matt Roy. And at center. And drop back. Slavin picks it up. And will move back into the offensive zone. Puck gets taken away. Back down for Slavin. Gostisbehere back at behind his net for Slavin. And Stankoven starting right behind Freddie Anderson. Number 22, the former Dallas Star. Ahead at center here for Taylor Hall. All left side. Centering, just nicking the blue paint as it went to the corner, but not a shot on net. Gostisbehere, center point. Looks for a lane. He forced it. Nice play by Duhaime. Gave him nothing. Took away the lane. Gostisbehere should have looked elsewhere. Caps have it now. And trying to clear it away. Hall losing a handle. And the puck gets cleared away to center. Protas on the attack now. Chychrun into the Carolina zone. Defended well here by Sean Walker, who is back. Puck deflected in front. Protas trying to get it home, and it bounced around a little bit. Gostisbehere able to feed it up the left side to Stankoven. There's Protas again, affecting change and getting back into the lineup. Another good-looking scoring chance there as the Caps threaten. Protas right in the center of it. Puck here for Walker. And it is off into the corner for Carrier. 5:45 to go here in the second period. Capitals up 1-0. Here's Walker. Inside here to Carrier. Ovechkin couldn't get a handle on it. And a loose puck that ends up coming low from up top. Rolled across the crease. Hit off of Thompson a little. Stankoven turns, fires, and a glove save. Thompson flashing leather. With 5:31 to go in the second. Carolina might want to stay away from that glove hand. LT doing work here in game one. We step aside. 1-0 Washington. Here in game one, you're listening to the 2025 Stanley Cup Playoffs. The Capitals Radio Network, driven by Kia.
Hi, it's me, your USPS Ground Advantage shipment. Just left the warehouse and hitting the road.
I know. Just got the notification.
Great. Smooth sailing so far. I'm almost there.
Yes, I know. I get all the updates.
Made it. Safe and sound.
I know.
Well, did you know I was with USPS the whole time?
Oh, yeah. I know.
Keep your business in the know with the USPS Ground Advantage service. Visit USPS.com/in-the-know.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
But do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Second period scoreboard. Here's Katie Florio.
Like we mentioned at the first period at 9:30, Edmonton takes on Vegas. But let's take a look at the other two matchups not going on tonight. Last night, Toronto won game one between the Maple Leafs and the Florida Panthers. William Nylander had 2 goals and an assist in the first period as Toronto went on for the 5-4 victory. And tomorrow night, Winnipeg and Dallas face off for game one of the Western Conference semifinals at Canada Life Center. Both teams are moving on after thrilling game 7 wins in the first round. The Jets moved on after a 4-3 double overtime victory over St. Louis on Sunday. And Mikko Rantanen had a hat trick in the third period of game 7 for Dallas as they came from behind to defeat Colorado. John?
All right, thanks, Katie. 5:31 to go here in the second period. And a face-off coming up near Logan Thompson. 1-0 here in game one. Alexei Protas has it for the home team. Jalen Chatfield off the face-off, got it blocked. Top of the left circle, out now to center for Wilson. And fell out across near wing, and Dmitry Orlov up in the air, taken away here by Carlson. Wilson trying to fight through Jackson Blake. Talented young right winger. Orlov will start from behind the net. He knows all about winning in this building. 7 years ago, got a ring for it. Here's Svechnikov driving into the zone. Blocker side wide and up and down to play. 5:01 to go in the second period. More on Dylan Strome. His 9 points through his first 5 playoff games with the Capitals, second in franchise history to the 11 that Dino Ciccarelli had in 1990 through 5 games played. That's some pretty heavy company when you talk about all the teams and all the years that the Caps have been in the postseason. That's 5 games to start it out. Ciccarelli 1, Strome 2.
Well, you're looking, and Dino's all were in front of the net there. He used to wear his pads on his back because he get cross-checked so much. So Strome to have company with him the way he was digging. I mean, Dylan's just been outstanding. I mean, it's just what a year it's been for him.
Back to Gostisbehere as the puck stays in for Carolina. Here's a shot from Carrier. Deflected off Leonard and wide of Thompson. We're inside of 5 minutes to go here in the second period of Game 1. Ron, Ken, and Katie with you here. Capital One Arena in Washington. The puck on the right side. One goal we've seen. It's for Alexei Protas. Shot attempt here from the right point. And Carrier getting it deflected up and out. 4:42 to go in the second. Steel walk behind, zero turn, and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow.
Well, Caps had a good period. They want to finish it strong. 11 shots on goal. Not as much as they want, but it's getting better. I mean, they're getting more offensive chances, creating stuff through the neutral zone. Their transition game's better. You're playing good now, but the Hurricanes are going to have an answer. They're not going away anytime soon, that's for sure.
Connor McMichael entering this series, points in 4 straight. On that line with Dubois and Wilson. Taylor Hall slipped and fell, and this is going to turn numbers the other way. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Duhaime coming right side, feeding it down low here, and just back checked it off, and then a puck in front for Protas, hopped over his stick. Capital set up in the offensive zone. Here's Roy firing it from the right point wide, and Duhaime will take it on the right wall and look to dig it out against Brent Burns. Carolina going to make their way to center, taking it away. And Stankoven crossing in with Kotkaniemi. Pass right side to number 82. Kotkaniemi will face a little resistance and dumping it around, but comes right out of the zone. Dmitry Orlov has to chase it down. Under 4 minutes now to go in the second period. Capitals up 1-0 here in Game 1. Next goal is looming rather large in this one. Capitals in what has been a lot more of a defensive struggle. Shots are 18-11. Much better job of limiting Carolina chances in this frame. Stankoven is defended by Down. Puck is cleared out to center. And back down to the Carolina zone for Dmitry Orlov. He will chug the other way against Anthony Beauvillier. But into the right corner. Ricochet behind the net to Van Riemsdyk. Capitals take control, but a pass that comes off of Alexeyev. And a shot attempt here from Martinuk is knocked down. Alexeyev had trouble handling it. Now Carolina back on the offensive. Here's a shot from Orlov. And a puck that's knocked down. Back in behind the net through Stahl. And far wing out of the right hash. 3:05 left here in the second. Wraparound tries. Carolina into the perimeter a little bit here and in from it with Martinuk. Pass at the top of the goal crease. Cleared out by Carolina. And Slavin will re-enter. Coming in across the right side for Blake. Top line on here for Ron Brindamore and company. Here's Slavin shooting, blocked. Ovechkin got a piece of that. And McMichael right out in front of his goaltender. Goes to his left and Dubois with a clear. Up now to center. Blake takes it away. Top line for Carolina remains here. Aho and Svechnikov.
Good
jump in with
play.
Burns.
Dubois, great defensive play on Burns. Two big, strong guys, and Dubois gets the best of it.
Keeping him to the outside. Carolina getting now in with Aho. His shot attempt with a man draped on him. Comes in off Thompson. Save made. 2:15 now to go in the second period. And a loose puck in off of Thompson. Threatening is Aho. And a bouncing puck knocked aside. This line doing some work. Keeping the puck in the zone here. Shot in from the outside. Capitals need to clear. These guys have been out for a while. Far side here off McMichael. And a puck that tips high off the glass, stays in for Walker, right side, and a shot here from Svechnikov, slowed off a block as it came toward Thompson. Now up and out of play off a deflection. Dubois going to mix it up a little bit here at the end of this play. He and Sebastian Aho with a word or two, and I think that's good news because that means that Dubois is getting to Aho. That's his job to defend that. And really like to see Aho, maybe with Dubois getting under his skin a little bit. That's some of the underrated stuff Dubois was doing in the first round. Not getting the goals, he's doing stuff like that. He's defending, get under their skin a little bit, and a good sign here early on in Game 1.
Yeah, for a little frustration with Aho on that one, you can tell, I'm sure. You look at it, he's getting tired of seeing number 80 against him every time he turns around. So that line there, a lot of offensive time, but the Caps, again, not a whole lot in the interior. A couple times they got through, that was it. But for the most part, Caps are doing their number on them. Nice job by Dubois. You got to keep going. This is an investment for a long series.
Capitals already with 24 blocks tonight, even with a third period yet to come. Already the most blocks they've had in any single game this playoff year. So starting to frustrate Carolina a bit with 90 seconds to go here in this second period. Back at the high of the net for Roy. And near side to Mangiapane. And the pressure from Orlov. And the forecheck for the Canes. Turns it around here. Kotkaniemi's pass off line to Robinson. And cleared out by the Caps. A race between Eller and the Carolina defender coming back to negate it. Kotkaniemi will negate icing, and an ozone draw for Carolina coming up with 1:14 to go in the second period.
Well, Carolina's put a little push on the last couple shifts here. They're trying to create something before the end of the second period. You can see the Caps just hanging on. The guys are tired here. This line needs to win this face-off. Get out and get a change. They're all leaning over, trying to get some air.
Eller is on here with Protas. That is at least on this shift. And there's going to be some mixed mastering. And Spencer Carberry said it this morning. Going to find Alexei in some different places. But on here with Eller and Mangiapane, this would be in the place of Ryan Leonard. Puck near side and coming now for Eller as he takes it from Stankoven. Final minute of the second period. So Ryan Leonard definitely missing a shift here as Alexei Protas comes on in his place. We'll see how much ice time that Protas gets in other places as we move along, but certainly an interesting development there. Back now near wing towards Slavin. And a puck tipped along the right post, and then second chance for Seth Jarvis. Banks off the side of the net. Burns trying to force it low, but missed. Ends up coming to the corner. Eller on the clear attempt. Got strong-armed by Jordan Stahl. And a puck toward the blue line and up and out from Mangiapane. Bouncing puck for Beauvillier. He'll force to the Carolina line, but that's when the Canes take over. Final 15 seconds of this second period. Roy got that puck up high, and he is slowed as the puck comes across offside. Playoff hockey is not for the weak. And Roy making sure everything's still where it's supposed to be with 11 seconds to go here in the second.
Yeah, everybody just sacrificing, getting hit, cut, whatever it may be, playing with the injuries. That's what playoff hockey is. That's why they can't play 82 of these a year. There's no way they wouldn't survive. They can barely survive a long run with going to the finals. So, the Caps here, 11 seconds to go. Not great the last 3 or 4 minutes. They need to get in there, get a little rest, change the momentum up a little bit, coming over for the third.
Not a lot of shots on Anderson in the last 6 minutes. Had a 6-minute shot drought, actually. Shots are 20-11 Carolina, but much better here in the second. Waiting to drop near the Carolina line. Shots on goal in the period are 8-6 Carolina. That is markedly better than what we saw in the first period, where it was a lot of Carolina coming out and imposing their will. But the Capitals win this draw. Back into their zone and cleared up in front of the player benches and down ice as Wilson was knocked out. And I'm going to say icing here against Washington, and a faceoff back in front of Thompson. One more chance before the horn for the Hurricanes as they trail it 1-0.
Tom Wilson wanted a penalty on that one. He's not going to get it. Talking right there. As Dowd goes after Blake, he didn't like that little shot. Blake gave him a little shot after the last face-off, so Dowd let them know. If I was Blake, I wouldn't be barking up that tree too much.
20 saves for Thompson in this one. And the Capitals trying to win a face-off that'll send them to the third period with a lead here in Game 1. Aho directing some traffic for the big boys on the top line. Svechnikov. Chatfield is in. Blake is along the wall on the near side. Dowd just trying to clean one up here. It's been a rough night at the dot for Nick so far. It'd be a big win to try and finish off the period. And now Dowd, after the false start, is told to reset. He'll get to stay. Aho at the ready. And he won an early drop. Tough on the drop here from the lines. That came way early. Aho just said, well, I'll take it, I guess. And they said, no, that's not going to work either. So third time's the charm, we hope. 2.3 to go. Dowd looking to win the draw against Aho, and did cleanly. Nicely done by Nick Dowd. That'll end the second period. So It's not as if the Capitals are overloading with offensive chances, and the forecheck not maybe as strong as we saw against the Montreal Canadiens in the first round, but a much better second period. Capitals get the only goal. Logan Thompson stopped 20 at 20. Anderson 10 on 11. And with a third period to go, the Capitals trying to get the leg up in the series, up 1-0 here after 40.
Yeah, in a good position. They'll go off here, get a little rest here as the players just chirping at each other a little bit here before they all go in the dressing room. But, yeah, much better from the first period. I mean, I thought it was night and day. They competed a lot more, had a few more chances. Now they're going to talk about it, go in there. Okay, defensively, guys got to do this, but we still can't sit back. We got to get some more shots on Anderson. We still haven't been able to pepper him that much. Get a nice goal by Alexi Protas, and then that's pretty much it for the offensive chances.
Uncharacteristically, a rough night for Nick Dowd. Losing 12 of 14 draws through 2 periods, but winning one that really mattered there at the end of the period, 1 of 2 on the night, and that's able to win the second period. Katie's got second intermission activities next. Alexei Protas has the game's only goal. 3:53 into the second period. Caps will take that 1-0 lead to the third here in Game 1. You're listening to the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs on the Capitals Radio Network, driven by Kia.
You get more for your money at Thompson Creek. You get high-quality windows at an affordable price direct from their local factory. Thompson Creek does it all. Design, build, and install, so you won't pay the middleman markup. Thompson Creek is celebrating 45 years in business, and you save 45% for a limited time. Buy one window, get one 45% off, plus finance options to fit any budget. For incredible anniversary sale savings, call 855-57-CREEK now.
Home sweet Thompson Creek.
Hey Capitals fans, Verizon is proud to support the Capitals in their pursuit of the Stanley Cup. And starting April 19th, if you visit a Verizon store in your Capitals gear, you'll receive an exclusive Capitals t-shirt and a chance to win 2 tickets to a Capitals home playoff game. Visit your local Verizon store. Go Caps! 1 shirt per person while supplies last. Participating locations only. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. See store for details.
Being there for live NHL games means more thrilling face-offs, more action, and more memories made for the whole family. And when you need tickets to watch the Caps hit the ice, Ticketmaster's got you covered. As the official ticket marketplace of the Washington Capitals and the NHL, Ticketmaster gives you more ways to find your perfect seat with a wide selection of tickets available for every game. And if your plans change, Ticketmaster gives you more flexibility to sell or transfer your tickets. Plus, mobile tickets make it easy to get into the arena and in time for puck drop. Check out the full schedule of upcoming games and get tickets today at Ticketmaster.com.
Thundercat Technology and Dell Technologies are proud sponsors of the Washington Capitals. Thundercat and Dell work to keep our city safe by offering federal organizations a comprehensive portfolio of solutions to help meet their goals. Whether they concern digital transformation, infrastructure consolidation and optimization, cloud migration, or data management and analytics, our purpose is to make the United States a better and safer place for all Americans. Visit thundercattech.com/DellTech for more information.
We owe so much to our heroes in uniform, but when they come home, what awaits them? We union plumbers, fitters, welders, and service technicians offer training and a career. Our VIP program, Veterans in Piping, provides opportunity for a future of rewarding work. End users and contractors, please partner with us in putting these dedicated, highly trained veterans back to work. Everyone wins. Learn more at UA.org.
Our postseason run is presented by Vanda Pharmaceuticals, a company headquartered here in our nation's capital, committed to developing new medications to improve people's lives. Just like your Washington Capitals, Vanda's commitment is to challenge the status quo and propel innovation forward in the pursuit of happiness. From groundbreaking therapies to players making history, we know excellence is derived from exceptional people coming together as a team. Let's go Caps!
Hey, Capitals fans, Verizon is proud to support the Capitals in their pursuit of the Stanley Cup. And starting April 19th, if you visit a Verizon store in your Capitals gear, you'll receive an exclusive Capitals t-shirt and a chance to win 2 tickets to a Capitals home playoff game. Visit your local Verizon store. Go Caps! 1 shirt per person while supplies last. Participating locations only. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. See store for details.
And out to center, some daylight now for Protas. Right side shooting, he scores! Alexei Protas drives the right side, lights it up, puts it through Anderson. 16:07 to go in the second. It's 1-0 Washington.
No, good transition gains by the Caps on that one, and Protas gets it, comes down the wing and just calls his own number. Uses his partner as a decoy. A quick shot beats Anderson to the far side. Perfect shot just over the pad under the glove. And the Caps up 1-0.
Oh, Alexei Protas, how we missed you.
Welcome back into the Capitals Radio Network as Washington leads Carolina 1-0 after 2 periods of play here in Game 1. Thanks to Alexei Protas, his goal in the second period, his first ever NHL playoff goal, but the second period was a lot different than the first period. Thankfully for the Capitals, in case you're just joining us, let's take you through the action of the first 40 minutes so far. Coming out to start this game, Carolina was relentless on their forecheck. The Capitals having a hard time breaking out, and after the first 7 minutes of play, shot attempts were 7-0 Carolina, and that first period would eventually finish with Carolina out shooting Washington 13-5. And then with 12:58 to go in the first, Washington gets an opportunity on the power play thanks to a Sebastian Aho high sticking penalty. But Kane's special teams has been spectacular. They killed off all 15 penalties against New Jersey in the first round, and they now make it 16 for 16 here tonight. Alex Ovechkin with the best opportunity of the night so far at this point coming on the power play, but he gets nothing. And the Canes just doing a much better job through the first period, getting to the interior. The Capitals had a hard time adjusting mid-period. Washington just struggling, sustaining pressure offensively. They would get a shot off and then kind of be done. And then with 5:09 to go here in the first period, Brandon Duhaime would take a holding penalty. It was a good kill for Washington, though. Some big stops from Logan Thompson. He was the main reason that this game was still scoreless after 1 period, keeping his team in it with a lot of shot attempts for Carolina. So we head to the second period, still scoreless, and the Capitals definitely made some of those adjustments we talked about at the intermission because they come out with a lot more zone time to start the second. And it eventually pays off. Welcome back, Alexei Protas. He makes it 1-0 Washington. A good transition game by the Capitals on that goal. Protas gets it, comes down the wing, and beats Anderson to the far side. His first ever NHL playoff goal. He had 2 assists and 4 career playoff games last season. And like John said on the broadcast, I think I just got to start talking to everyone because he was our morning interview on Rink Report this morning. I said how he was looking to make a big impact in this series after coming back from injury. He had only played in Game 5 against Montreal up to this point, and lo and behold, he scores the first goal of the series, 3:53 into the second period, to give Washington a 1-0 lead. It was assisted by Brandon Duhaime and John Carlson. We'll hear from Duhaime shortly as he notched the primary assist, extending his point streak to 3 games. He has 3 goals and 1 assist for 4 points in the postseason so far. He scored 3 goals in the first round games against Montreal, has now tallied his first career Stanley Cup playoff assist as well. John Carlson would get the secondary assist on that Protas goal, his second assist in as many games. And all in all, a much better second period for Washington. The Capitals come out with a lot more compete, a few more chances, but you still cannot sit back in this third period. Only 11 shots on Freddie Anderson through the first 2 periods. You're going to need more than that against this dangerous Carolina team. Logan Thompson has stopped all 20 he's faced from Carolina so far, and Anderson has allowed 1 goal on 11 Washington shots. We'll now go back where I chatted with Brandon Duhaime yesterday prior to practice as they got ready for this series. Brandon, 3 goals for you in this first series, the type of guy that's going to score those greasy goals, exactly what you need. What allowed you to kind of take it to a second level here in the start of playoffs?
Yeah, I think we can start off with just 2 of those were empty netters. So 3 sounds great, but when you mentioned the 2 empty netters, it's a little different. But no, it was a well fought series. I think we did a good job of kind of playing to our identity and playing kind of the style of play we've been playing all year, and I think that's good for the playoffs.
I knew that, but I wasn't going to say it. I was going to try to hype you up with the credit, but obviously a lot of people talking about that hit that Tom Wilson laid on Carrier obviously led to that goal, and so many people saying that was kind of the turning point of the series. What can the physicality, not just from him, but everyone, Ovechkin lane hits as well. What did that physicality do to enable you guys to sort of take the series from that point?
Yeah, I think our leaders, like they've been doing all year, have been kind of leading the charge. And anytime you see, your big dogs, playing physical and laying out for block shots and doing all the little things, it definitely drags guys into the battle. And I think our leadership group did an excellent job of doing that exactly for us.
Carolina, a team that does not give you a lot of time or space. It's going to be a hard-fought series. What have you seen out of them out of the regular season that you'll have to kind of overcome if you want to move on?
Yeah, we played them a lot through the regular season, and we're familiar with their game. But anytime you get in the playoffs, it's it's times 2, and everything's magnified a little bit more. So we know what to expect, and we know we're going to get their best. So we have to bring our best punch as well.
At one point, you're thinking that you're starting the series tomorrow. Obviously now not starting till Tuesday. A lot of time, 6 days between the 2 rounds. How does that change anything, if at all, from like a preparation standpoint?
No, I think it's important to get your rest, and anytime you can capitalize on a few days of rest is important, especially going to a playoff run like this. And it'd be one thing if they were still playing and we weren't. Maybe there'd be a little bit of advantage, disadvantage, whatever you want to call it. But they're in the same exact boat as we are, and I think it's an even playing field, and everyone's getting the rest.
That was my conversation with Brandon Duhaime earlier this week as Washington leads Carolina 1-0 after 2 periods of play, thanks to Alexei Protas's first goal of the postseason. Brandon Duhaime assisting on that goal as well, marking his 4th point of the postseason so far. But like we mentioned, a much, much better second period for the Capitals. They compete more, a few more chances, but you cannot sit back. Only 11 shots on Freddie Anderson. So far, you're going to have to get more than that if the Capitals want to come out and win this game in the 3rd period. As we now go back downstairs with stats from the period from our intern, Jake Herman.
Well, Katie, a little more from the Capitals on offense during that second period. 6 high-danger chances in the second after only 2 in the first. But how about this? The Hurricanes had 11 high-danger opportunities in that second period, but only 8 shots on goal. You don't see too many periods like that, and blocked shots are a big reason why. The Capitals have stopped 25 shots tonight. That's already a postseason high. Brandon Duhaime has 6 to lead everybody, but 14 different Capitals have registered a blocked shot already.
25 blocked shots so far, a huge storyline in tonight's game. And the ones that are getting through, luckily, Logan Thompson continues to see very, very well as the Capitals take this 1-0 lead into the 3rd period. We'll take a quick break, and when we return, we'll check the out-of-town playoff scoreboard. That is coming up next here on the Caps Radio Network, driven by Kia.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable. It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
If you're working in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area as a pipe fitter, pipe welder, or HVAC service technician, and you're interested in a better life, a better means to provide for yourself and your family, a way to make sure that you're earning the highest wages and the best benefits in our industry. Visit our website at steamfitters-602.org. That's steamfitters-602.org and let's talk about what we can do to help change your life.
Oh, the sadness you feel when you realize you've picked up your very last hot, crispy McDonald's fry. But what's this? More fries at the bottom of your bag? Oh, the joy! The joy! Oh, wait. Never mind. They're gone again. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
We owe so much to our heroes in uniform, but when they come home, what awaits them? We union plumbers, fitters, welders, and service technicians offer training and a career. Our VIP program, Veterans in Piping, provides opportunity for a future of rewarding work. End users and contractors, please partner with us in putting these dedicated, highly trained veterans back to work. Everyone wins. Learn more at UA.org.
We'll pause 10 seconds now for station identification on the Capitals Radio Network, driven by Kia.
Before, during, wrist far side, shoots deflected, they score!
Lives here. Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Kites Frederick.
Welcome back into the Caps Radio Network as Washington leads Carolina 1-0 after 2 periods, thanks to an Alexei Protas goal. As we now take a look around the league, coming up at 9:30, Edmonton takes on Vegas, a game one of the second round. It is a rematch of the second round series between these two teams from 2 seasons ago. On Vegas' route to their first Stanley Cup, Vegas won that series in 6 games. Knights goaltender Adin Hill stepped in during the middle of that series to win 3 games for Vegas. He's expecting some hard feelings to carry over from that series as well. Each side is coming in off of a strong finish from their first round matchup. Edmonton won 4 straight games after falling into a 2-0 hole against LA, while Vegas won the last 3 games of their series with Minnesota after falling behind 2-1. Toronto leads Florida 1-0 after their 5-4 win last night, and Winnipeg and Dallas begin round 2 tomorrow night. We'll have more updates on those in our postgame show, but now it's time to get you back to John, who has a call of the 3rd period here on the Capitals Radio Network, driven by Kia.
Wow, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Make this game night an unforgettable one with a stay at Grand Hyatt Washington. Whether you're here for the big game or to cheer on your favorite player, level up your evening with a top-notch stage as moments from Capital One Arena. Grand Hyatt Washington puts you steps from all of the action with newly renovated guest rooms featuring plush bedding and sleek amenities that make every stay a win. Plus, score 15% off your stay when booking directly at GrandHyattWashington.com with code ARENA. Stay close, stay rested, stay in the game.
Mayday, Mayday. Allergens are at an all-time high, making breathing a misery. You need Hadid. Jill Hadid's unique combination of traditional methods and modern equipment gives your home or office a deep-down hygienic clean for a fresh, healthy, breathing oasis. Call today and take advantage of 10% off in-plant rug cleaning. And why tax yourself with a new Oriental rug or carpet when Hadid's expert repair and restoration team can renew at a fraction of the cost? Breathe easy. Visit JoeHadid.com today.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable. It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
You know you make me break.
Down to the 3rd period here at Capital One Arena, game 1 of this second round matchup between the Caps and the Carolina Hurricanes. 1-0 to score. Alexei Protas, the only goal. 3:53 the time of it in the second period. And can the block shots 25-8. Brandon Duhaime has 6 by himself. Capitals are blocking shots. They got to keep pucks away from Thompson here into the third.
Yeah, sacrificing your body. The best way to do it is to have the puck on your stick. Maybe a little more offensive time. Don't sit back on this one-goal lead.
Third period is underway, and a shot attempt from Jarvis as he got a pass from the top of the right circle into the high slot. Let it go. Thompson saw it and is able to hold down to it. No rebound with 19:43 to go. Next broadcast of Capitals hockey coming up Thursday here in Game 2. Another 7 o'clock start in this series. Be on the air at 6:45 on 106.7 The Fan here in D.C. and throughout the Capitals radio network. And for the scene shifts to Raleigh. Saturday at 6 and then Sunday at 7. A penalty coming up here on Carolina as the Capitals are able to win the draw, move it back into the Carolina zone. Anderson will take control, and the Caps are going to get their second power play of the game. A tripping call on Carolina, just 27 seconds into the third period. Having a seat is Jackson Blake.
Carolina penalty, number 53. 2-minute minor, tripping.
Not a large part of the game right here.
Huge opportunity for the Caps. Right off the draw too early on. He just gets a stick in the legs of Carlson, who goes down. And now the Caps get a great opportunity to go up by a crooked number.
Looking for a little breathing room in what has been a very tight game, and Carolina has had the lion's share of offensive zone possession. Capitals trying to get some daylight and get a leg up in the series. A puck here for Chikrin. And waved at and sent it behind the net. Brent Burns on a backhand shuffle that will go the distance. Stopped on the paddle of the goal stick of Logan Thompson. Look ahead now to center for Strome. Right side, firing it in. And around to the left hash mark, swinging and blasting out is Jordan Stahl. Capitals really don't get set up here. And Carlson back to get the puck teed up by Logan Thompson. Ahead now to center for Strome. And across into the Carolina zone, really up into the bench far side. In fact, I think it did. A little late in the whistle, but I think it hit back up goaltender Pyotr Kochetkov at the end of the bench there. Minute 21 to go in. The penalty on Blake for tripping. 18:54 to go in regulation. 1-0 Washington.
Well, the Caps having trouble getting into the zone, skating into the zone against the PK of the Carolina Hurricanes. You know, they haven't given up a goal all playoffs. 16 for 16. The Caps got to find a way. They may have to dump it and just go get it. If they're standing up the blue line, that means they're flat-footed. So you got to be able to have a head of steam through the neutral zone. Go get that puck.
16-16 means they're due to give one up, right?
Yes.
Can't keep them all out of the net. Capitals trying to get that first one against them this playoff year. The faceoff coming out of the zone. Just over a minute gone by here in the third period of game one. And one back to Brent Burns. And a clear up ice off of Logan Thompson. Carlson, outside around Sebastian Aho. Out half speed and a little sloppy with the puck. Taken away here by Seth Jarvis, but all they can do is lob it back in. Jacob Chikrin will start here. 2D set here on the power play. Seen a lot of this in the playoffs. Chikrin carries it across. Tips it right side. Carlson up top means Chikrin kind of goes where he wants to. And a little bit more free-form movement here. Back down towards Strome. Weak side to Ovechkin, but that closes quickly. 1 at 39, 1 at 40. Burns and Ovechkin colliding, and a puck that comes out of the zone, and a stop here as it deflects up and out of play. There are two guys that are probably happy to have the week off to kind of recharge the batteries. Brent Burns and Alex Ovechkin would probably be at the top of the list.
I would think so. You know, with their bodies, a lot of mileage on both those bodies. Doesn't hurt to have a couple days rest. No physical contact, which is nice. But you can see, though, the Carolina Hurricanes PK, I mean, they're aggressive everywhere. They're aggressive in the neutral zone, so not giving you any time or space.
Second unit trying to do something here off the draw, wrestle for it. Chatfield tried to clear. Nice play by Ovechkin to slap it across, but it only delayed the inevitable. Sent out now by Carolina down ice. And Sandin will start it from there. 2 minutes gone, third period. 1-0 Washington. Dubois to the Carolina line. Carries it himself past Martinook. Slowed along the left hash by Chatfield. Fired by Ovechkin around the yellow. Down low to Mangiapane. Right wing corner. And ferocious are the Canes. Coming to the far wing, taking it and moving. And a shot here off of Thompson. Second chance as the power play came to a close. Back-to-back chances and a penalty coming up here. Drawn by Carolina. Wes McCauley about to tell us about it. Carolina's going to get a power play chance.
Number 8, Washington, minor for a slash.
Ovechkin will head to the box and drawn by a hard-charging Carolina team coming out of the end of the penalty kill, trying to generate a chance. They do one twice and end up drawing a penalty. Huge segment of the game. Again here, penalty kill needs to be gigantic.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, after you get that 2-minute power play, you don't really get any chances here. Now you got to shut these guys down. Ovechkin taking a slashing call on that one. This is a big kill for the Caps.
Only other penalty in the game against Washington, Duhaime in the first period. Carolina's chance here, knocked down. Blake in front, cannot get the shot off from about 2 feet north of the goal crease. Out to Gostisbehere. He'll go cross ice from right circle to left. Back to the forward, Jarvis, who will anchor it from the top. Hand it off left side. Pass attempt in front. Broken up by the Caps and just able to clear off the stick of John Carlson. Back to the Carolina line. Blake alongside Jarvis. Capitals do not get a shot on their power play. And now need to stop Carolina to hold a 1-0 lead. 16:55 to play here, third period. Around now from Blake. And up to Gostisbehere. Blake. Sebastian Aho moved across now. Gostisbehere. Back in out to the left side. Getting back from Jarvis. Shot from the outside. There's that glove again from Logan Thompson. Snapping it up, hauling it in. Carolina, try as they might, have not been able to avoid that glove hand, and Thompson's been red hot with it. 16:40 to go, and 1:08 left in the Ovechkin penalty.
Well, Logan's seeing the puck, too. I mean, the shots are coming. A one-time shot from Gostisbehere on the point. The guy's in front. He's able to pick that puck up. You can see he's dialed in. He had Blake in front, waving his stick in front of him. Didn't bother him at all. He just makes the quick stop. So it's he's dialed in still. But the Caps, they got to... another 1:08 to go here to kill this one.
Capitals 11 minutes without a shot. Last one they had was with 7:52 left in the second period. Nothing on a power play. Carolina poured it on here. Stankoven and a centering attempt. Capitals wrestling to the outside, but Roy can't clear. Now it's Burns. Center point. Left side now for Taylor Hall, and his shot going wide. Rebound coming out of the corner. Back down for Kotkaniemi. Left side here for Hall. He'll shoot in on Thompson. And a save made. Holds it in between the pads and a butterfly. 16:13 to go. Still 41 seconds to go. Thompson trying to hold Carolina at bay here.
Well, this penalty kill, twice now they've had an opportunity to get the puck out. Duhaime and then Roy at the last time. They didn't get that puck down. That's when you get yourself into trouble. You have to make sure you bear down on those, get it off the boards, off the glass, whatever it may be. It's got to get out.
Capitals on home ice trying to hold serve here in this best of 7. Game 2 coming up here on Thursday night before we head to the Tar Heel State for the next 2. Svechnikov on across, and now back to Aho. Nearly forced out by Duhaime. He's been a force in this game. Back down low in the right corner. Aho to Svechnikov. And a pass across to Jarvis. Back from Gostisbehere. And a shot knocked down. Blake picks up the rebound. A lot of zone time here again for Carolina. Side Gostisbehere. Right dot Svechnikov. Gostisbehere shooting. Dotted block. Nicely done. Nicked out. Capitals can't clear. Kept in by Gostisbehere. He'll shovel it left side. Get it back now in the slot. Gostisbehere shot. Blocked by Dowd. And Duhaime trying to clear. He can't. Penalty's over. Ovechkin will join. But Carolina's still in business here. Jarvis shooting. And a puck off the post. And going up and out to the far wing. Capitals have to clear. They do. And Dowd gets rid of it. Caps change and just has survived.
Well, they bent a little bit. They didn't break. I mean, that's a good kill by the Caps. Keeping everything out. You know, hit the post on there. The goaltender's best friend. They've hit a couple posts out tonight, so the Caps, some luck on their side.
2 shots a post. The 5th post and or crossbar in the game for Carolina. 14:55 to go. Capitals leading 1-0. They have had some puck luck. They need to generate some chances. They haven't had a shot in more than 12 minutes. Near side and out. Protas chasing and try to get back against Dmitry Orlov. And the former Capital will get to it first. Lead for Jalen Chatfield in behind the Carolina net.
Yeah, we got to get some offense going here. 11 shots, and it's just not cutting. I mean, you're just putting way too much pressure on Logan Thompson.
He has been outstanding, but the Capitals could stand to give him a little more support. Back to center now to Beauvillier. 5-on-5. Capitals will dump in. Chased by Ovechkin. Burns will get there first. The hulking Carolina D-man will come near side here to Robinson, and up and out of the zone. Good stop there from Jacob Chikrin to keep it from crossing. Caps with puck possession, and will back it up into their zone. Not seeing any of the third line here. Spencer Carberry shortening things up a little bit. Back down now near side for Slavin. And Robinson can't handle it. But back into the Capital zone. Brendan Moore's team changing on the fly. 13:45 to go here in the third period of game one. Capitals going to lead here at home, 1-0. Dumped in by Ryan Leonard. Sent in now deep behind the net for Burns. Will hold him off. Slavin will dump it away, but not going to be able to chase this one down. Alexia, that's going to be an icing call here against Carolina. So the Caps going to get an ozone draw. You'd like to see them get a little bit of sustained pressure. That second goal would be gigantic the way this game is unfolding, but just not enough shots. They have nothing here in the third. Getting outshot 27-11. About 13 minutes now without a shot going back to the second period.
Yeah, that's not good enough, and they realize that too. The offensive draw, see if they can win it back here. Get pucks towards the goal. The big bodies out there with Dubois and Wilson, you know they're going to go to the front of the net. Just make sure as a defenseman, you got to get it through. Whether it's wide or not, you just can't get it blocked.
Seen a lot of tweaks of the lines. Nothing tweaking here, though, with Dubois, with Michael, and Wilson. And they control it here off the draw. Left side, Wilson. Bringing it down into the left wing corner. 13:15 to go. Dubois strong on the puck against Aho, but from the left dot, little back check will free it up to Svechnikov. He will arrive at a Washington line and dump in. Roy able to get back. So too to Sandin. Svechnikov off the backside. In front, nobody home for Carolina. And McMichael want to move with some speed here. Left side, threading it through to Wilson. He just couldn't quite get control of it. And the pass on the end board comes all the way down. Thompson will have to play it and leave it for Matt Roy. Wilson's had a couple of near misses tonight.
That's good opportunity right there. Good scoring chance on that one. Getting Tommy going to the net. They've hit him tried to hit him a couple times. That big body, once he gets moving, the defenseman's not going to stop him from going there.
Their line coming on here now. Eller, along with Mangiapane and Leonard. Eller carries it across the line, has it left side, a little bit of room, and then goes off into the corner against Will Carrier. Even the zone, Mangiapane sending it down low and behind the net. 12:20 to go here in the third period of game one. Capitals up 1-0. John, Ken, and Katie with you here at Capital One Arena in the nation's capital. Puck far wing here to Mangiapane. And to center ice for Eller. He has got Leonard coming across. Gets the shot away and a save. That finally ends the shot drought. And then Ryan Leonard getting into it a little bit with Brent Burns. I don't care how old you are. He comes right out. I'm 40 years of age versus 20. Aren't the playoffs great? Little shove that'll stop things. Caps with an ozone draw. They finally come up with a shot on net. Shot attempts are 84-29 Carolina. But it's Washington up 1-0 with 12:02 to go. We're back after this. You're listening to the 2025 Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Capitals Radio Network, driven by Kia.
At Leidos, we make things smarter and more efficient. From cutting development time in half on a new class of cruise missile for the DoD to already being done with this ad. Leidos, making smart smarter. At Leidos, we make things smarter and more efficient. From saving the DoD over $645 million on digital modernization to already being done with this ad. Leidos, making smart smarter.
What does it mean to be at the top of your game? At MedStar Health, it means putting your heart into every play, trusting in teamwork, never giving up, and bringing your best no matter what. At MedStar Health, we're proud the Capitals continue to trust us as their medical team year after year. And how we treat the pros is how we treat you. Because together, we can take on anything. MedStar Health, it's how we treat people.
The FAA employs 10% fewer fully certified air traffic controllers today than it did 10 years ago, and 25% fewer trainees than 5 years ago. The FAA's staffing plan is not working. That's why Congress must require the FAA to replace its failed staffing plan with a plan that meets all of the FAA's needs and hire the maximum number of air traffic controller trainees possible for the next 5 years. The National Air Traffic Controllers Association. NATCA, we guide you home.
Hi, this is Dylan Strom. You're listening to Caps Radio 24/7 and the Capitals Radio Network.
15-50 without a shot. Shot attempts 84-29, Carolina. And yet Washington behind Logan Thompson and a lone goal from Alexei Protas, one of just 12 shots in a game for Washington. A 1-0 lead here in game one. To center, Carolina. And across the Washington line. It started out lopsided. The Caps got some traction in the second, and that traction largely has dissipated here in the third. 6-1 the shots. At least the ones that have gotten on net. And some posts and crossbars. Carolina hitting it now right side with Stahl. 11:30 to go here in the third. If you're a Caps fan, it feels like an eternity right now. Back to center for Sandin.
Especially with the Hurricanes are just coming offensively. They're not slowing down at all.
Alexei Protas getting on the top line here for the first time. We mentioned he was going to move around. Second line aboard here with McMichael and Dubois. Wilson got a couple of near misses. Chasing after it here into the Carolina zone. Gains with Svechnikov. Touch pass out of the zone. Aho on the right side. And Carolina able to get through Carlson near wing, but no other pressure beyond that. McMichael just able to take it from center and dump in. Anderson going to play it in behind the net. And around to the near board, Sean Walker. Center here for Carolina. 10:43 to go. Coming in out of the far wing. Taylor Hall. Lofts it in behind the net from the far corner. Caps come out the near side with it. Wilson able to clear. And the Dubois line will head off. Carolina starting with Dmitry Orlov in behind their net. 10:25 to go. 1-0 Washington here in game one. Dan Riemsdyk. Back toward Duhaime, and a turnover in front, and Stankoven scores. A misplay on the far wing, and Logan Stankoven has tied this game with 10:18 to go. Bad giveaway on the far side, and we are locked up here in game one.
Yeah, Alexei Protas tried to put that puck in the middle, and you just can't do that. They pick it off, and Stankoven, who's been pretty hot himself here, he gets a little shot in the high slot, just beats Logan Thompson top shelf. So defensively, you can't have those breakdowns in your own zone.
A lunge from Alexeyev that he couldn't control. He and Protas losing the puck as it came along the wing. Protas' pass crossed up Alexeyev, and you're right, Ken, the play that Protas makes. He had a huge goal, but he's a part of the reason it's tied now as well. And halfway through this third period, the Capitals find themselves in a 1-1 deadlock. And just hanging on for a whole lot of it. Stankoven's third of the playoffs.
Well, now they can't hang on. They got to go after it now. They can't sit back. They have to go after it, try to get some offense going.
They have been badly outchanced all night. Here comes Hall. And ahead for the shot attempt. Down to Hall. And coming here off of Logan Thompson back along the end board. And Dylan Strome back in behind the net. Capitals won game one of the first round. It took overtime as Montreal came back to tie it. And although the score is similar in nature as Carolina has come back here in the third to tie it, the offensive opportunities the entire game belonging to Carolina. Capitals have got to get one here. Puck reflects off the glass near wing. Stays in for Chychrun, but he can't control it. Gordon Stahl able to clear it up ice. Hadn't really given up anything of a high-danger variety in the whole period until that. Turnover between Protas and Alexeyev that finds Stankoven in the middle of the net. Kotkaniemi, the lone assist. And Martinook with it now in his own zone after Wilson was knocked down. Martinook with under 9 minutes to go here in the third period. Coming down is Walker. Near side for Aho. They play catch with it. They got Thompson moving, and Aho just missed it. He had a little bit of net to shoot at near side. Thompson had sealed off the bottom, but there was some up top. Aho missed it completely. The Caps forcing it back inside the Carolina zone. Protas, right side. Falling down in the front of the net. Taken here by Carolina. Still not a shot here on Anderson. The Capitals are getting outshot 9-1 here in the period. 29-12 for the game, but they just need the next one. Here comes Protas shooting. And a glove save made by Freddie Anderson. 8:21 to go. Here in the third period, game one. Capitals and Canes tied at 1. You're listening to the 2025 Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Capitals Radio Network, driven by Kia. Caesars Sportsbook is the official sports betting partner of the Washington Capitals. Download the app if you haven't already, and you can bet all the action right from your seat. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Washington, D.C. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or text 800-426. OLG Class A licensed operator. Caesars Sportsbook, the only sportsbook with Caesars rewards.
Wow, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
The FAA employs 10% fewer fully certified air traffic controllers today than it did 10 years ago, and 25% fewer trainees than 5 years ago. The FAA's staffing plan is not working. That's why Congress must require the FAA to replace its failed staffing plan with a plan that meets all of the FAA's needs and hire the maximum number of air traffic controller trainees possible for the next 5 years. The National Air Traffic Controllers Association, NATCA, we guide you home.
Hi, this is Nick Dowd. You're listening to the Capitals Radio Network.
8:21 to go here in the third. Hoping a little mandatory Metallica here at 7th and S spurs the boys on. Face off in the offensive zone. 1-1 here in game one. It's been a tough night for Pierre-Luc Dubois. The shot attempts against his line tonight. He has been so good defensively, but they've gotten 20 attempts tonight. They've gotten a lot of blocks. Caps only have 2 the other direction. A lot of chances for Carolina throughout in this game. Tremendously lopsided, yet the game is tied. The Capitals just got to find a way here to get the next one with 8:15 to go. Here comes Jarvis onto the left circle and a poke check. They'll send it far wing here to Carlson. And now in behind the net and coming to the near board, Beauvillier. Towards center and down ice, Slavin. Get there first. And lead for Brent Burns. Pass up ice quickly to Jordan Stahl. Right side to Martinook. Pass across into the slot. Left circle and a shot. And that puck just deflecting off into the corner. Carolina, another near miss with 7:45 to go. A turnaround for Thompson. They're going to line change. Carolina will. Now the Capitals will follow suit. Dubois coming ahead. Driving the left side. Trying to get around Chatfield and take him down. In behind the net. And a puck cleared out by Blake to center. Through Aho and a foot race to Thompson. It's going to turn it around and give it away. Thompson coming up the middle. And a puck that comes away. A loose blade coming off Dubois. And they're going to blow the play dead because the Capitals were offside. He couldn't leave the zone. And they will get him to the bench here. A lost blade for Dubois. He'll need some assistance getting to the bench here with 7:17 to go. Caps certainly don't need anything like that happening, given the way that this one has gone down and transpired.
No, he lost his blade in the back there. He couldn't get up, so the Caps get lucky on that one. 5-on-4 in the offensive zone. The Caps are able to stave it off, but they got to get back to getting some offense here, just to sustain pressure. I mean, one and done's just not going to cut it against the Carolina Hurricanes team. You got to get more, get them cycling a little bit. We haven't seen them cycle a whole lot in their own zone. It's, they're good defensively, the Hurricanes, but everybody struggles below the hash marks if you keep that puck moving.
They stop near the Carolina line here. National Air Traffic Controllers Association postgame show. Ken and Katie coming up when we're done. We're talking about a Capitals victory and however form it takes here. The shot attempts vastly lopsided in favor of Carolina in this one. Down to Orlov, back in behind the net. They don't ask how, they ask how many, and the number is 4 that you've got to get in terms of victories. This game tied here with under 7 minutes now to go in the third period. Carolina ices it, so face-off back in front of Freddie Anderson. He's given up 1 goal on 13. Logan Thompson, 30 on 31 here in this one. And the draw, and it's going to be to the right here of Freddie Anderson. And it is Strome on it here, a little bit different.
Well, Dubois was getting
the skate blade, so they have by necessity here. Strome will take a draw with these guys and send it to Svechnikov. Crashing in is Wilson. And now a whistle into the corner here, and one of our referees, TJ Luxmore, is listening to the play now. Was that hit with a high stick? Is that what necessitated the whistle there in the corner? I think so. Face off. We're going to bring it out of the zone here. So on Washington. Going to be near the Carolina blue line for the draw here. 6:48 remaining. Steel walk behind, zero turn, and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow.
Looks like Pierre-Luc Dubois still getting his skates repaired here. There must be a little issue going on. Usually they snap those blades in real quick. Snap them out, snap them in. Away you go.
Hand pass is the ruling, by the way, as the puck carried in here by Paul. 6:38 to go. Carolina going to move toward the slot. Piniemi can't carry it with him, but the puck stays in. Left side for Hall. Now Lotus Stankover. And in behind the net. Goes far wing here. And coming up along the left hash. Controlled here by Hall. His shot blocked. Capitals force it out to center. Strome, Wilson, McMichael. As the puck turned quickly here and off of Logan Stankover. Far wing here, Strome trying to get it moving. Right side and down ice. 6 minutes to go. And now the Capitals ice it. A little short of the red line as they let it go. And a draw coming back in front of Logan Thompson here with just over 6 minutes to play. The Capitals got to generate a little bit more. It just has been a struggle seemingly all night here. But really in this third period, as Carolina putting on a push to get the game tied, they've done that.
Yeah, they've done that. They've had opportunities. They finally get one. A little sloppy play for the Caps in their own zone. Too many giveaways like that. Good teams make you pay. And the Carolina Hurricanes been all over the Caps offensively pretty much all night. Maybe not the second period, but in the first and third, there's no doubt they've had the majority of the play.
Here's Mangiapane back in behind the net. And out to center. Back to the Carolina blue line. Svechnikov centering, and it's carried in by Shane Gostisbehere. Good stick check there from Sandin. And a puck ahead to Leonard. Gets behind the defense. Backhander shot, and he missed it. Hit off the leg pad of Anderson. He lost his goal stick. Ryan Leonard had a game on his stick and couldn't get it to go with 5.5 to play. Defensive breakdown for Carolina. They're a little slow. Gostisbehere duo back there with Sean Walker. Let Leonard slip on by.
Yeah, Ryan Leonard uses speed down the middle there. He just tries that pass, tries that move to the blocker side of Anderson, just lost control of it.
Puck coming back into the corner, and now behind the net for Protas. 5:10 to go in a 1-1 game here in game one. Carolina trying to steal home ice right off the jump. As the Capitals ice it here, Washington looking to hang on, get a victory, and maybe take their breath and assess after what's gone on here tonight and try and get ready for a game two, but whatever happens here, both teams certainly feeling it with 5:05 left.
And you look at it, I mean, no matter what's happened now, the Caps one shot away. Leonard almost could have really put the pressure on the Hurricanes. They get that next one. We've seen it so many times in games. That's the way playoffs go. I mean, you just don't know. It's been close games. That one extra goal, one shot by the Caps here, put the Hurricanes back on their heels.
Under 5 to play here in the third period. We are all tied up. There are 2 games that have gone beyond one overtime this playoff year. Carolina was involved in one, and they lost it. It was the only game they lost to New Jersey in round 1. Only other game that went double was Winnipeg, of course, in that legendary Game 7. And congrats to our buddy Scott Arneal for getting on to round 2, one of our favorites.
Yeah, he did it not the easy way, that's for sure.
No, I think that aged him quite a bit as the puck comes near his side. But one-time Capitals assistant coach and all-around good guy. Scott Arneal on to see Dallas in round 2 with the Jets. Back behind the net here for Stahl. 4:15 to play. 1-1 here in D.C. tonight. Chatfield in from the blue line and feeding it in behind the net to Stahl. Blue line here to Orlov. And as Carlson tries to clear it away, pressure from the Canes will keep it alive. Sent around to Chatfield, right wing. No check from McMichael. Freed it up to Wilson. He'll cross center with Dubois. And dump it back into the Carolina zone. Orlov, first one there.
Just no room for the Caps.
This says, no matter what happens with Carolina, win or lose, I don't think Rod Brindamore is going to want to change very much. They played awfully well. Here's a puck to the far wing. Yet the game tied 1-1 here. Not cleared away. If the Capitals somehow get this into the win column, there ought to be a congressional investigation if Thompson's not number one star.
Exactly. Well, trying to get the Caps going.
Late here in regulation, 3:18 to go, 1-1.
You know, Carolina, we talk about them, but they're a disciplined hockey club. They play the same way no matter what. You can see that in the first period right down to the right now. I mean, it's just a positionally sound. They don't give up the puck much.
Sandin getting hit on the inboards by Sebastian Aho as the puck remains in the Washington zone. Ovechkin had tried to clear. Slavin able to keep it in. And then a chance for Sandin to put it up in the air. He will lob it to the Carolina line. Washington changing. The momentum for Carolina has been enormous in this game. 2:40 left. Spencer Carberry said this morning that was something he was worried about. You can't have 5, 6, 7 shifts in a row of momentum. Carolina's had more than that as it comes near side to Hall. 2:30 to go in a 1-1 game. Shots are 31-13 Carolina. Pop up in the air, coming near high glass in the Washington zone. Leonard clears. And it's Walker will take it for Carolina. The Canes coming right back in. Here's Walker. Shot attempt on the right side, deflecting up and off of Logan Thompson with 2:10 to go. And we step aside. That is all that is left in regulation time here in Game 1. Protas in the second. Stankoven here in the third. 1-1 here in Game 1. You're listening to the 2025 Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Capitals Radio Network, driven by Kia.
Oh, the sadness you feel when you realize you've picked up your very last hot, crispy McDonald's fry. But what's this? More fries at the bottom of your bag? Oh, the joy! The joy! Oh, wait. Never mind. They're gone again. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable. It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Caesars Sportsbook is the official sports betting partner of the Washington Capitals. Download the app if you haven't already, and you can bet all the action right from your seat. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Washington, D.C. No one to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or text 800-426. OLG Class A licensed operator. Caesars Sportsbook, the only sportsbook with Caesars rewards.
Hi, this is Jacob Chikrin. You're listening to the Capitals Radio Network.
These two teams, not bad at scoring goals this playoff year. Carolina was 5th, Washington 6th in goals per game, 3.8 and 3.6 respectively. Both teams with just one tonight, 2:10 to go. Face-off coming up in front of Logan Thompson. I shorted Carolina a double overtime game. They did lose one. They also won to end New Jersey's season. Fyodor Kochetkov won it in Game 5. Chatfield on a false start of the draw. They picked it up. We'll do it again between Aho and Pierre-Luc Dubois. 13 shots. All the Capitals have put on Anderson tonight. That Protas blaze up the right side early in the second period, just beating him. Seems like a week ago. Near side for Dubois. And a penalty coming up here, it looks like. Off the draw, the arm of the referee in the air and a stick on the ice. We got a high sticking penalty coming up here. Let's go downstairs. It's on Carolina.
Washington penalty number 6.
It's on Carolina. The door swung open for Carolina. They're going to call it on Washington, and Chychrun is the guy who gets it. And he's looking in disbelief. Want to see this again.
See this? Yeah, I didn't see that, but this is a hard penalty to give out with 2 minutes to go in regulation in the third period. I mean,
I didn't see much there. We'll see the replay. Spencer Carberry has
He got him. I could see that. He got a stick up there a little bit.
Oh, yeah, he did. We see the replay now. He came up on him.
Yeah, he got him.
Jabbed up in the face. Yeah, he did.
And that's one penalty you look at. Well, that and the puck over the glass. They're going to call that no matter what time of the game.
Yeah. So Chychrun goes off. He did get him. Spencer Carberry, the look on his face as he looked at the monitor, but I think he saw what we saw. It was subtle, but when you saw it from the back camera angle, he came up across the face. This is trouble. 2:07 to go, and Carolina on the power play looking for a potential game winner. Puck sent out of the zone and back to Gostisbehere. Capitals just trying to survive for overtime right now. Aho back in his own end. And for Jarvis. Down the middle and across the line. Aho kicks it back here to Gostisbehere. Cross ice here for Svechnikov. Fumbled it off his stick. Carlson tried to clear and gave it back to number 4 for Carolina. Gostisbehere near side. Aho fanning on the shot. In from the right circle. And Carlson, clear attempt again. Can't get it out. Coming down the middle here for Jarvis. Capitals got to get it deep. Jarvis back near side to Aho. Minute 20 to go. Into the skates of number 20 for Carolina. Aho back to Gostisbehere. High slot, now left circle. Giving it here to Blake. Worked it around. Gostisbehere. Lane taken away by Duhaime. 70 seconds left in regulation. A minute left in the penalty. Aho. Right circle. Back down to Gostisbehere. Right dot looking for a tip in front. Roy with a piece of it. He sent it far wing. And a puck down into the far corner. Tied up in behind the net. Final minute of regulation here. For all intents and purposes, we're in overtime right now as this puck goes up and out of play. And now some post-whistle stuff and some wrestling. Puck went up in over the glass and up into the first row. And a powder keg with Roy in the middle of it here. Svechnikov down and everybody getting a little rowdy with 49.1 to go here.
Yeah, you know, you look at it, and Carolina Hurricane, they come in there and take a little shot. Svechnikov's he's not shy to get in there and give a little shot after the whistle. He's the type of guy that tries to stir it up a little bit too. But the Capitals respond. You see there'd be no penalties on this one. I doubt it.
No, if not at this stage on either team.
And the Caps got 42 seconds left on this kill, though. But they got to get better, John. One thing they have to get better at, when they get that puck, it's got to get out. They've had 2 or 3 opportunities to get that puck out of the zone, and they can't get it out.
Yeah, Carlson twice couldn't get it out. The shot attempts are an ungodly 90-32 right now in favor of Carolina. I can't think of a game that the Capitals were outchanced to that degree. Certainly not this season. To the right here at Thompson, the Canes have brought it, and yet the Caps can get through the next 42 seconds of a Jacob Chychrun penalty, and 49.1, all that separates us from overtime. All they got to do is get an OT winner, and we saw him do it in Game 1 against Montreal in this very facility. They're going to need something to go their way here. They are hanging on in just about every sense right now. Yeah. Face-off to the right of Thompson.
Big face-off. They can win this back and get that puck out, drill it around the boards.
Carolina's just set up shop in the offensive zone on this power play. They've had chances. They've fanned on a few. They win it here, and nicely done. One back to Carlson, and cleared up. McDowd able to run off some time. Burns will gather it up. Make his way back with Walker. It is dumped in right wing and sent around to the far board. Dumped up and out here by Wilson. And on goal where it is played by Freddie Anderson. Dropped off at the top of his own goal crease to Brent Burns. 23 seconds left before overtime. Canes, near side, Walker. Pass out in front of him. Chopped at and missed by Matt Roy. Far wing toward Protas. 12 seconds left. Wilson able to get it out. He'll make his way to center. And a puck dumped in right wing corner. Played by Anderson. And left for Brent Burns in behind the net. This game's going to overtime. As Burns will skate away 1-1, end of 60 minutes in a game where the Capitals were outchanced almost 3-1 through regulation. They are still here and now just need to find an overtime winner to go up 1-0 in the series.
Well, exactly. Put away all the stats, put away all that stuff doesn't matter now. The next goal wins, and that's all the Caps will be thinking about now. They'll go in there, obviously talk about it, get a rest, and come back out and not sit back. I hope they come out and just take it to them. Just go forward, go for it.
Capitals have only gone to OT once and ended it quick. Carolina's gone long into double OT twice. We'll see what happens here in game one. It has been all Carolina in the attempts. They finished regulation 91-33. 13th game to overtime this playoff year. Kenny Florio with the overtime intermission report when we return. And then the Caps and the Canes will duke it out to see who wins in game one. You're listening to the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs on the Capitals Radio Network, driven by Kia. Caesars Sportsbook is the official sports betting partner of the Washington Capitals. Download the app if you haven't already, and you can bet all the action right from your seat. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Washington, D.C. No one to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or text 800-426. OLG Class A licensed operator. Caesars Sportsbook, the only sportsbook with Caesars rewards.
Wow, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Make this game night an unforgettable one with a stay at Grand Hyatt Washington. Whether you're here for the big game or to cheer on your favorite player, level up your evening with a top-notch stage as moments from Capital One Arena. Grand Hyatt Washington puts you steps from all of the action with newly renovated guest rooms featuring plush bedding and sleek amenities that make every stay a win. Plus, score 15% off your stay when booking directly at GrandHyattWashington.com with code ARENA. Stay close, stay rested, stay in the game.
Mayday, Mayday. Allergens are at an all-time high, making breathing a misery. You need Hadid. Joe Hadid's unique combination of traditional methods and modern equipment gives your home or office a deep-down hygienic clean for a fresh, healthy, breathing oasis. Call today and take advantage of 10% off in-plant rug cleaning. And why tax yourself with a new Oriental rug or carpet when Hadid's expert repair and restoration team can renew at a fraction of the cost? Breathe easy. Visit JoeHadid.com today.
Attention commercial businesses and high-rise building owners. Do you want a 100% tax write-off? Recent tax reform laws allow businesses and building owners a 100% tax write-off to install and retrofit fire sprinklers. That's right, a 100% write-off. Go to sprinklerfitters669.org, click on your city, town, or region, select a contractor, and schedule an estimate. The 100% write-off basically gives you free fire protection. Install fire sprinklers now. Sprinklerfitters669.org to save lives and protect property.
Do you have an air conditioning emergency? If so, you need HVAC 911. Call 301-939-0499 or visit HVAC911.com/EC for service 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The most skilled and experienced HVAC technicians in the DMV are only a call away. 301-939-0499 or visit HVAC911.com/EC for service 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Brought to you by Steam Fair's Local 602.
And out to center, some daylight now for Protas. Right side shooting, he scores! Alexei Protas drives the right side, lights it up, puts it through Anderson. 16:07 to go in the second. It's 1-0 Washington.
No, good transition gains by the Caps on that one, and Protas gets it, comes down the wing and just calls his own number. Uses his partner as a decoy. A quick shot beats Anderson to the far side. Perfect shot just over the pad under the glove. And the Caps up 1-0.
Oh, Alexei Protas, how we missed you.
Welcome back into the Capitals Radio Network as we get free hockey here in Game 1 between Washington and Carolina in the second round, tied 1-1 at the end of regulation. And this one is headed to overtime, so let's take you through the action of the first 60 minutes so far. Well, it has been Carolina all game long. The Capitals lucky to even be tied at this point. Their forecheck has been relentless. The Capitals can't break out, and after the first 7 minutes of play in this game, shot attempts were 7-0 Carolina. First period finishes scoreless with Carolina out shooting Washington 13-5. The Canes just doing a good job getting to the interior, and the Capitals having a hard time adjusting. Washington having kind of a challenge sustaining pressure offensively. They would get one shot off and then be kind of done. So with 5 minutes to go in the first period, Brandon Duhaime takes a holding penalty. A good kill for Washington. Some big stops from Logan Thompson. He kept this team in it all night long. And a lot of shot attempts from Carolina. So we head to the second period, scoreless, and the Capitals with a little more zone time to start the second, and it would eventually pay off because welcome back Alexei Protas. He makes it 1-0 Washington, 3 minutes and 53 seconds into the second period. A good transition game by the Capitals on that goal. Pro gets it, comes down the wing, and beats Anderson to the far side. His first ever NHL playoff goal. He also had 2 assists in 4 career playoff games last season. Of course, he's coming off that injury, though, and just came back in after playing Game 5, making his debut in this year's postseason, Game 5 against Montreal. Brandon Duhaime would notch the primary assist on that one, extending his point streak to 3 games. And John Carlson recorded the secondary assist on that Protas goal, his second assist in as many games. So much better second period for the Capitals. They compete more, a few more chances, but they still cannot sit back up to this point. They only had 11 shots on Freddie Anderson through the first 2 periods, and you would need more than that. And this is why we head to the third period with Washington up 1-0 in just 27 seconds in. Washington gets their second chance on the power play. Jackson Blake goes for tripping, and Carolina makes it 17 for 17 on the PK so far this postseason. Fast forward to about the 10-minute mark of the third period, and we knew it was going to happen by this point. Going back to the second period, Washington had gone 13 minutes without a shot on goal. Shot attempts at this point were 84-29 Carolina, and suddenly this game is tied as Logan Stankoven gets his third of the postseason. A turnover on the far sides leads to the goal. Protas and Alexeyev losing the puck, and the giveaways will cost you, and that is exactly what happens to the Capitals on this one. So that is where we get to this point, tied 1-1 after regulation. And you knew the second round was going to be a lot different than the first round. And earlier this week, Carberry went into more reason as to why that's the case.
Yeah, I do think there is. I think it just settles down a little bit. Everybody is so amped up at the beginning of the playoffs. And I think, I would say even before the second round starts, I felt like that in Game 5. I thought Game 5 was the first game of our series with Montreal where it was just hockey. The extracurriculars, all the stuff going on, it just settled into 2 teams competing extremely hard. Nothing changes from an intensity standpoint. It just... There's some stuff that at the beginning of series, when you're feeling each other out, when you're starting the playoffs in the first round and you want to do so well and everybody wants to have an impact and everybody wants to show that they care and that they're more intense and more physical than they were in the regular season, it just breeds a lot of erratic moments, I'll call it that. And then midway through the first round, usually it settles in. And I think it'll be the same way in the second round. Like it's going to be ultra competitive and it's going to be physical and it's playoff hockey. But I think it will be teams that are settled in and very, very focused.
And despite the way Carolina has outplayed the Capitals in this game, these 2 teams are pretty even. They split the season series 2-2. So, of course, it's 1-1 after Game 1 here, where Carberry also went into more depth on the regular season with the Canes.
For sure. We'll look at it all. Like we played them 4 times. We know what went on there, and I think there's bits and pieces of each game that we'll look at and take good and bad. But we definitely, the last game that we played here, game 78, I believe it was, a week after we had played down there in their building, I think there were we did some really good things. We got down in that game early, which wasn't ideal. It took us a little bit to get our footing there, but we come back from being down 2-0 and then build a lead, and then we cough it up in the third period, end up winning in shootout. But there was a lot of good things inside of that, and we're going to need to replicate some of those, and then we'll look at some of the stuff that happened in the New Jersey series with Carolina, and even, for that matter, some of the stuff that we did against Montreal that we're going to need to either A, continue to tighten up or do a better job of, and B, continue to replicate.
Once again, this game is headed to overtime. It was Alexei Protas putting the Capitals on the board first, 3 minutes and 53 seconds into the second period. His first goal of the postseason. Of course, he just made his debut in Game 5 against Montreal after coming off of that skate cut injury. But then at 9:42 in the third period, Logan Stankoven gets his third of the playoffs to tie this game at 1. And that is where we are now. Freddie Anderson has allowed 1 goal on 14 shots, while Logan Thompson has stood tall and allowed 1 goal on 31 Carolina shots. We'll take a break, and when we return, John and Ken will have the call of overtime on the other side. That's coming up next here on the Capitals Radio Network, driven by Kia.
Caesars Sportsbook is the official sports betting partner of the Washington Capitals. Download the app if you haven't already, and you can bet all the action right from your seat. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Washington, D.C. No one to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or text 800-426. OLG Class A licensed operator. Caesars Sportsbook, the only sportsbook with Caesars rewards.
Wow, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Make this game night an unforgettable one with a stay at Grand Hyatt Washington. Whether you're here for the big game or to cheer on your favorite player, level up your evening with a top-notch stage as moments from Capital One Arena. Grand Hyatt Washington puts you steps from all of the action with newly renovated guest rooms featuring plush bedding and sleek amenities that make every stay a win. Plus, score 15% off your stay when booking directly at GrandHyattWashington.com with code ARENA. Stay close, stay rested, stay in the game.
Mayday, mayday. Allergens are at an all-time high, making breathing a misery. You need Hadid. Joe Hadid's unique combination of traditional methods and modern equipment gives your home or office a deep-down hygienic clean for a fresh, healthy, breathing oasis. Call today and take advantage of 10% off in-plant rug cleaning. And why tax yourself with a new Oriental rug or carpet when Hadid's expert repair and restoration team can renew at a fraction of the cost? Breathe easy. Visit JoeHadid.com today.
Right now, we'll pause 10 seconds for station identification. This, the Washington Capitals Radio Network, driven by Kia.
The biggest games in the world. Ovechkin fires! He scores! Serious excellent NHL Network Radio.
Kites Frederick.
The Capitals and the Carolina Hurricanes are going to overtime as they come onto the ice down below us. There have been, in terms of overtime games this playoff year, this is the 13th time that more than 60 minutes has been required. Capitals were involved in one of them. They won that game. Did it here in Game 1 against Montreal. 1-1. The Hurricanes are, and they went to double overtime both times. For the Capitals and the shots that they have not gotten in this game, they have 14 of them heading into overtime. 14 for the game. Only 2 times ever in postseason history for the Capitals have they gotten 14 or fewer shots through regulation. A 2-0 win at Ottawa in the 1998 conference semis. They had 11. And a 3-2 loss at Boston in the 1990 Conference Finals. They had 14. So put another way, the Capitals have gone 27 years since they last had 14 shots or fewer through 60 minutes. We can address that tomorrow. Get the next one, go up 1-0, and then the cleanup crew comes in after that.
Well, the one thing they got to do here at overtime, if they have an opportunity to shoot, they can't pass it up. They've had a few opportunities in this slot, shoot the puck, and they were looking for that pass. You just got to fire. In overtime, anything happens, fire everything you can towards the goal.
77 playoff overtime games in team history. A couple of times the Caps have had fewer. That 11 game. But here we are in overtime, 5-on-5. Alex Ovechkin without a shot on goal through 60 minutes.
And Protas back on the big line once again.
Yeah, needing some offense, and this seems to be something we expected maybe even in Game 5 against Montreal. But as this overtime is underway, Protas on a top line. He's got Washington's only goal tonight. Underway here in the first overtime. Back right side, Protas into the Carolina zone. And Jarvis will lead it there for Jordan Staal. Pass that'll come from right side to left. Controlled here by Chatfield. Dumped in left side and in behind Logan Thompson. Out along the right side here to Staal. Right hash mark. And off the glove of Jarvis comes near side. Capitals trying to find a way to clear it. Roy bouncing it out to center. And Orlov will roof it back in. But we're going to think they're going to say a hand pass. They're going to drop it here at center ice. A stoppage with 19:22 to go in overtime. Anderson looking for his 15th playoff win in Carolina history. That would pass Artur Zerbe for the second most in franchise history. And Logan Thompson trying to go 5-1 out the blocks in his Capitals career in the postseason.
Well, he's the one bright spot. I'll tell you what, he did his job. Without him, we wouldn't be playing right now, that's for sure. He's made some great stops, especially early on in the game.
Slavin up past Svechnikov and dumped into the Capital zone. Chychrun gets hit by Aho, but protects the puck. Comes out to Svechnikov. He'll go cross ice. Shot attempt from Burns, missing the mark. Chychrun trying to clear his own zone. Back to the net, can't do it. Capitals got to chip it away, and now out to center, Chychrun and McMichael. The pass off of Mikey's stick and comes to the Carolina line. It's controlled here by Jackson Blake. And back inside the Washington zone. 1:10 gone by here in overtime. Here's Svechnikov coming in 1-on-3. Got the shot away. Deflected off a stick. Looked like Chychrun's. And goes up and out with 18:42 remaining here. Chychrun points in 3 straight playoff games entering this game 1 tonight. McMichael with 4 straights. Beauvillier had 5 points in 18 regular season games with the Capitals. He had 5 in 5 playoff games against Montreal. There are guys that were producing numbers beyond their regular season in the round 1 against Montreal. But as Beauvillier is out here, Duhaime had 3 goals in his last 2 games. Dowd still looking for his first. Those are the guys on the ice right here.
Well, you look at the ice time, too, and Brendan Moore has pretty much spread it out throughout his whole team. The Capitals have a couple guys on D lugging a ton, and that one line's not getting a lot of ice time, too. So see where that comes into play as the game moves on.
The puck comes out to center. Gostisbehere dumps in, and now Van Riemsdyk out the far wing. A race for the puck. Beauvillier trying to race Gostisbehere for it, and Gostisbehere just a step ahead. Will play the Caps in front, and a chance for Dowd, and a puck right in front that deflects off Anderson and wide. A great play on a forecheck to go and get it, throw it to the middle, and Dowd nearly won it for Washington.
Yeah, that's key. Forecheck on that one. They get it, just throw it towards the goal. Good things happen.
Ball comes into the zone, fans on the shot. Maybe the Caps can light a little bit of a spark there. They almost found it. And near side now and across offside, Carolina. A little muddy trying to get across the blue line with 17:58 to go. Dowd does not have a goal in his playoff year. That would have been a sensational one if he could have gotten it.
Yeah, good forecheck by Duhaime, and then Beauvillier just throws that puck in, and Dowd, like you said, got a piece of it, just couldn't put it in. But that's the right idea. Get in there on the forecheck. Duhaime gets in there, gets on his horse, he causes a turnover, and that's where they get the puck in and get an opportunity.
Chychrun will send it to the red line, and Lars Eller there. Mangiapane, Leonard. And they're unable to enter the zone. It's controlled by the Canes. And Dmitry Orlov up in the air, taken here by Carrier. The glide across the Washington line. Right side into the circle. Poke checked away. Up in the air for Kotkaniemi. He'll feed the blue line. Chatfield shooting and a puck deflected on the way. Logan Thompson did well to be able to track that. That took a left turn coming out of the circle, and he was able to hold it. He has been sharp all night long. And a stop here with 17:34 to go in overtime.
Yeah, not easy when you're a goaltender. When you commit, you're going to your left, and all of a sudden you got to reach back to your right. Not an easy thing to do, but Logan, as you said, gets it done, and Caps just packing it in front of him, trying to block every shot. Blocking shots hasn't been a problem. That's not one you want to be continuing to do throughout this series.
34 of them the Capitals had through 60 minutes. Face-off coming up to the left of Thompson. 5 in the Capitals lineup tonight have scored a playoff overtime goal. Beauvillier, Dow, Dubois, Ovechkin in round 1 against Montreal, and Tom Wilson. Hurricanes have 3. The puck cleared away, and Orlov comes back to get it. Stahl has 3, Aho with 2, Kotkaniemi has 1. Caps have the puck. Duhaime in his own zone here for Roy. And along now at center, Orlov lost the puck to Duhaime. Crossed in, but couldn't control it. Martinook forcing it across center, and Chychrun comes back against Seth Jarvis. Jarvis picks up the puck right half. Coming down into the corner. Fed in now behind the net. And around to Orlov, who will come down off the left-hand side, go low to high. Slavin at the right point. A shot, they score, and it's over. A puck that tipped, it looked like right in front of Thompson. And the Carolina Hurricanes have taken game 1 of this best-of-7 second-round matchup. The shot from the right point gets through, and Carolina wins it 2-1.
Yeah, just an innocent shot from the point. And that's what it takes sometimes in overtime, and the puck finds its way in the back of the net. Body's in front. It just beats it. Logan Thompson's skating off the ice. He's outstanding tonight.
I'd make him number 1 star anyway. The Capitals wouldn't even be in remotely close if it weren't for his efforts tonight.
No, this is one the Caps got to learn from, those, John. They can't just... 14 shots, and you're almost 3 minutes into overtime. You have a total of 14 shots. You can't beat good teams like that, so it's one they're going to learn from.
Not even a shot in overtime, the second fewest shots they've ever gotten in a playoff game. And Carolina certainly played well enough to win and rallying to do it. They got the game tire in the third, and they win it in overtime. The final score, 2-1. Kenny Florio's got you covered in post-game coverage. Got a lot of sound coming up. We'll hear from both coaches. We'll hear from Carolina at the podium and locker room reaction from the Capitals after a tough 2-1 loss. Carolina grabs home ice right from the jump here in this best-of-7 second-round matchup. Final score, 2-1. You're listening to the 2025 Stanley Cup Playoffs